It is a beautiful Friday evening here at Elliott Field in Fitchburg as the Falcons get set for their toughest test of the season. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to coverage of Fitchburg State University football. I'm John Gugerty, joined by Alex Bogdasarian. And Alex, Fitchburg State is coming off a very impressive win over Castleton.
Yeah, a very impressive win over a team that really they were favored heavily against, and they certainly beat handily. And really, the story of the game to me was just how dominant Fitchburg was offensively last week. I mean, the stat that really sticks out to me from the box score, 307 total offense for Fitchburg State against 128 for Castleton. And Castleton's best player, really, Mo Harris, their running back, was shut down for the whole game. And for Fitchburg State, a very strong showing defensively and also offensively as well. Their size up front was really big, especially at the wide receiving core. They could really do whatever they wanted down the field. And also their rushing attack was very strong last week. So if Fitchburg State wants to win tonight, that's what they need to do again against Framingham State.
And we bring in Danny Bolak. Danny, the Falcons tonight face one of their toughest opponents, a team that has dominated not only MASCAC play, but you get back to previous conferences in the Rams of Framingham State University.
Yes, Framingham State, one of the strongest teams in the MASCAC, the strongest team in the MASCAC. They've won all three MASCAC regular season titles that there have been to offer since the conference started sponsoring football in 2013. Framingham State has won 32 straight regular season conference games, their last loss coming November 5th, 2011, a 27-13 decision to Worcester State. And so the Rams coming in with that 32-game conference winning streak. As I've been summing it up, they're basically the final boss, and the Falcons have to play them in week one of conference play. It'll be a bit of a challenge. The Falcons look to be up to the task tonight.
And Alex, we look in this game a little more closely. Fitchburg State has not defeated Framingham State in quite a long time.
Yeah, and in fact, Framingham State hasn't lost a MASCAC game in it seems like a long time. Their last meeting, Fitchburg State did lose 34-21. The last Fitchburg State win was all the way back in 2008, September 27th, 2008, to say the least. So, yeah, I mean, certainly under the lights here tonight, we'll see how Fitchburg State is as far as their strength. Their quarterback's obviously the biggest question tonight, but you know, they're facing a team in Framingham State that's lost some people. So an opportunity here under the lights.
You just touched on it, Alex. Let's go down to the fourth member of our broadcast crew, Amanda Agassi, on the sidelines. And Amanda, obviously the big storyline coming into this game is the health of Falcons quarterback Garrett Delakii.
Thanks, guys. So I'm down here on the field, and I'm telling you, it's great weather for football. It's about 72 degrees right now and dropping by about to 68 degrees by halftime. So, you know, it's chilly for me, but not for these guys because they're really hyped. They're excited. This is a huge conference matchup. This is the first conference game for Fitchburg State, and they're really excited. They're playing Framingham State, as mentioned. Well, the first story right out the gate is talking about our great quarterback, Garrett Delakii, and talking about how his injury went through. Last week, he suffered a kind of high minor ankle sprain, but we saw him out warming up. He looked pretty decent. He looks ready to go, but as mentioned, it's a game time decision with him. But not to fear, last week we had James Antonelli come in and really save the day for the Falcons. He was able to bring the team to the win. And let's just talk about briefly Framingham State. Last week, they were crushed by Cortland State, 49-21, but they had some really great standout players, like their sophomore running back, Kieran Wright, who rushed the ball for a team's best of 74 yards, as well as his fellow classmate, Napoleon Miller, who led the Rams on receiving end with 7 catches for 48 carries. And their defense as well answered with big numbers from their seniors. Let's talk about Fitchburg State going into this game. Our defense did great last week, and so did the offense. Big plays from the Brown-Simpson brothers. Javon Brown-Simpson scored early in the first half, and his brother had an interception and ran it back for a touchdown, so that was awesome to watch. The Falcons scored in every single quarter of the game last week, so that's very important. Talking to a bunch of players this week, they're really hyped, they're excited. This would be a huge win for the Falcons. They have lost to Framingham State for the past 5 years, so winning this matchup would be amazing for them. But let's see how this game fares. Back up to you guys.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And Danny Bolek, I want to get your thoughts as well. We mentioned you called them the final boss. What makes Framingham State so good?
Well, they've always been very good at recruiting. Tom Kelly, the head coach of the Rams, has always been able to put together a good team with the pieces that he's had. He's lost a few pieces. The top 3 receivers from last year, they graduated. Matthew Silva, the lead quarterback for the last few years for the Rams, he graduated. And so for the Rams, it's just been trying to put together new pieces. They brought back their lead running back, Jalen Green. He's a senior now. He's run for over 1,700 career yards. And they were able to convert Stephen Bean from a linebacker to a wide receiver this year. And against Endicott, the season opener, 6 catches, 248 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a Golden Helmet Award.
I would say that's a good first game as a wide receiver.
Absolutely.
Alex, that's good, right?
That's very good.
That's good. Okay.
So he's going to be one of the challenging players to watch out for. Their quarterback for the first 2 games, their starting quarterback was Zach Walker. He's a junior from Ayer, not very far away from here. And in his first 2 seasons, he was 9 of 14, 99 yards, and an interception stuck behind Matthew Silva. But as the starting quarterback this year for the Rams, he's had some success. Was successful against Endicott, not so much against Cortland, but Cortland coming into that game number 16 in the nation. So, of course, it was a bit of a tough loss, dropping that game 49-21. But the Rams will be looking to bounce back, and they want to start conference play as they have the last 7 years with the victory.
And while we have a moment here, folks, we want to mention something that I frankly think is very, very cool. Obviously, we're here at Elliott Field, just across town at Crocker Field. The Red Raiders of Fitchburg High School are getting ready to open their season against Wachusett, and you can watch that game on FATV as well. For those of you watching at home in Fitchburg on Comcast, you're going to flip over to channel 99, and you'll be able to watch the Red Raiders. On Verizon, just hit that channel up button, go to channel 37, and you'll be able to see the Red Raider football game. And, of course, if you're joining us from outside of Fitchburg, streaming this game on FATV.org, first of all, thank you and welcome. Second of all, you can stream that game as well. I know I have 2 TVs in my living room. If you've got 2 screens, there's nothing stopping you from watching both games at once. I think it's very, very cool. It's the first time we've been able to do anything like this. And, Alex, we want to thank the underwriters who helped make this possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And FATV underwriting partners include Workers Credit Union, Mart, Fitchburg State University, Minuteman Press, who do a great job with our business cards, by the way. I'm on the board of directors. I can attest to that. Acme Carpet One, which supplies the carpeting for the studio, which looks fantastic, especially with the new lighting. Rollstone Bank, Unitil, and Sentinel and Enterprise, Vector 5, and Hub International.
Again, we want to thank the underwriting partners, and again, we do want to mention both Fitchburg games are live at the same time. Fitchburg State University right here at Elliott Field, Fitchburg High School over at Crocker. Both of those games are live. They are on FATV. We're going to give you updates throughout the night. Feel free to jump back and forth. FATV does not compete with FATV. Watch both of these games. We think it's really cool, and we're very honored to be able to bring it to you. Now, Danny, as we focus back our attention on this game here at Elliott Field, obviously the Falcon offense is going to have some question marks at the quarterback position coming in tonight.
Yes, as we know, Garrett Delakiai, game-time decision with that ankle sprain. But James Antonelli did very well last week, stepping up for the Falcons in that contest against Castleton. Just to get his numbers up quickly now, he was 12 of 17 for 90 yards, 2 touchdown passes, also ran it in for a touchdown late in the contest to close out the scoring. And so he looks like he's up to the challenge if he needs to be. Falcons are going to be out without one of their big weapons in Devin Samil. He's out in this contest with an injury. That was something we sort of missed in the whole Delakiai saga last week. We didn't really notice an obvious injury for Samil, but he is out, and the Falcons will be missing his contributions tonight.
Other injury news for the Falcons. Last week we saw injuries to kicker Christopher Ludwig and the center Max Schiavone. Fingers crossed, both of those men appear to be able to compete tonight, so they will be going. And obviously, especially with Ludwig, that's a big part of the offense for the Falcons. That's your kicker right there.
Yes, for Ludwig, he's been the only kicker the Falcons have had for the last few years. Only kicker, only punter. He's been doing all of the work. And obviously, we saw him in the game, with the kicking and the punting after he sustained that injury. It seemed like he was still able to perform quite capably. So the question's going to be whether or not a few days of rest is going to help that out. I would hope so.
Now, Alex, before the game, you got a chance to talk to Garrett Delakiai. Can you give me some insight into what his mindset was? Do you think he thought he was going to play in this game?
Yeah, I mean, watching him out there on the field, he said he was pretty confident. And, watching him warm up, he looked okay. And a lot of the speculation was it would be a game time decision, but I think, just with my eye test, I think he's going to give it a go tonight, which is obviously a huge factor tonight. I mean, you think about it, Framingham State's the class of this division. It has been for many, many years. And Garrett Delikai really is the X factor tonight as far as Fitchburg State goes. You really can't understate it enough. I mean, if he goes and he's well, then Fitchburg State is going to have a great shot tonight, I feel like, with the rest of their team. And if he looks a little shaky tonight and Antonelli has to step in, then Framingham State could gain a lot of confidence, and it really could be a lot like the last few years where Framingham State's gotten the better of Fitchburg State. So that's obviously a huge factor, but I think Garrett sounded in pretty good spirits before the game.
Now, I didn't get a chance to see too much of the warm-ups. I saw Garrett standing still and throwing, and his arm looked fine. It's obviously not an arm injury. That's not the concern. But with a quarterback like Garrett Delikai, his mobility is such a weapon. Did you see him running around at all? Did you see him actually put some heavy weight on that ankle?
I really just saw him kind of standing still and throwing, and that's fine. But you talk about the factor of the injury, and you see him right there alongside the captains. When you're stepping to throw, you really put a lot of weight on your ankle and your legs. And so that really affects his entire mobility, and it affects his throwing motion as well down the field. And Fitchburg State has some pretty big targets, as we've seen so far this year. So if Garrett can get him the ball, I think they can play with anybody. So it really does come down to how his ankle is.
You mentioned the size of the targets. We also want to talk, Danny, just about the number of targets that Fitchburg State has. Last week, Garrett Delikai and James Antonelli completed passes to a very high number of receivers.
That is correct, John. The exact number, just to count it: Herbert Acosta, Jake Lane, Taylor Ekstrom, Devin Samil, Ben Satterwhite, Jaquay Solomon, Jesse Lastra, Cody Mullen, Sterling Garvin, Jesse Brown, and Javon Brown-Simpson. All of those Falcons came up with receptions in last week's game.
And in case you folks at home couldn't count that fast, that is 11 different receivers for the Falcons. None of them had more than 50 yards, but when 11 guys are making catches, it doesn't matter if one guy doesn't have a whole bunch.
And the Falcons' two most prolific receivers in terms of number of receptions: Herbert Acosta, he had 6 catches for 40 yards, and Dakota Mullen, he had 4 catches for 15 yards, including one of those touchdown catches.
You see the Rams of Framingham State there taking the field. They will be in the white jerseys with black pants, obviously. Fitchburg State in green on green with gold numbers. It is a beautiful night for football here at Elliott Field. And again, if this turns out to be a blowout, you can always switch over to the high school game. Fitchburg High, first game of the season for the Red Raiders. What can we expect, do you think, for Fitchburg High, Alex, this season?
Well, they had a tough game against Brockton last week, but, I mean, that's Brockton. That's playing on the road. It was a tough contest. They lost. For Fitchburg State, it really comes down to how the divisions got juggled. They are in Midwatch B this year. I think it's an advantage for them because teams have to play up to their level now. And at high school, that does mean quite a bit. So it's their first league game tonight, and I would give them a shot tonight against Westboro, I believe they're playing.
So while we are here at Elliott Field, our thoughts and our hopes will be with the Red Raiders at Crocker Field as they take on Wachusett. But again, here at Elliott Field, it's a pretty tough game. The Fitchburg Falcons take on the Rams of Framingham State University. We will step aside for the national anthem and be back in just a moment. It's Falcon football live from Elliott Field right here on FATV. State University football live from Elliott Field here on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined by Alex Bogdasarian and Danny Bolak. And Dan, we don't get the opportunity to broadcast many night games here at Elliott Field. It's a bit of a unique atmosphere.
Absolutely, as the nights. I mean, I've had a chance to broadcast a few games during my time with the Falcon Sports Network for the night games, and it's quite the atmosphere. I mean, matches the high school atmosphere as well.
I was going to say, it feels a little bit like we're at Crocker Field.
Yes, but of course the atmosphere, it's electric for tonight. Again, we're playing one of the best teams in the conference. This is going to be one of the biggest games in the MASCAC, possibly in the Northeast for Division III football this season.
It's not an exaggeration, I think, to say that this game could ultimately decide the MASCAC champion at the end of the season.
It very well could. These teams picked 1 and 2 in the preseason poll. Framingham again picked to win the conference, but maybe the Falcons can turn it on their head.
Good crowd on hand here at Elliott Field, but if you're in Fitchburg and you want to watch some live football, come on down. Still plenty of time, obviously. Falcons won the toss, but they deferred, so they will kick it away to start the game. Fitchburg State going right to left across your TV screen. Set back deep to return for Framingham State. Looks like that's Mike Colicchio and Naz Thomas. Christopher Ludwig will kick it away. Good kick, high, end over end, down the middle, taken in by Thomas at about the 15-yard line. He'll take it out to the outside. He's across the 35 and brought down at the 40-yard line. So just like that, Alex, Framingham State has pretty good field position to start the first quarter.
Yeah, great start there by Ezekiel Thomas. And Framingham State is not going to back down tonight. They know how to play in big games themselves. So let's get ready, boys. Let's do it.
Danny, real quick, tell me about the Framingham State starters on offense.
Well, for the Rams, as we expect Zach Walker going to start at quarterback for the Rams. 35 of 53 over the air for 471 yards and 5 touchdowns. Was picked off 3 times last week, though.
Looks like that's Stephen Bean in the backfield with him, number 24. Walker will go from the shotgun. He keeps it himself on first down. Under pressure, but he's able to get back across the line of scrimmage. It's a gain of about a yard before he's brought down by the Falcons. Looks like that's Mamu Sam on the hit.
It's interesting, too, seeing Bean starting in the backfield. He is a converted linebacker, but not just listed as a wide receiver. He was the starting tight end last week as well.
Second down and 8 for Framingham State. They go 4 wide receivers. Karan Wright lines up in the backfield. You see him there to the left of Zach Walker. Walker will pass on second down to the right side. Pass is caught. Brought in by Mike Colicchio, the junior wideout out of Chelmsford. And that is good for a Framingham State first down.
Yeah, and a confidence booster for Zachary Walker as well. He threw 3 interceptions last week against Cortland State. He actually has 4 total this year. So quite a bit for the MASCAC champion defending Framingham State quarterback.
Rams go without a huddle. Walker making signals. Some movement at the snap. It's a handoff to Stephen Bean coming up along the right side. He breaks tackles. He's forced out of bounds at the 38-yard line. That's a gain of about 7 yards for the man who's listed as a wide receiver.
Bean showing off his versatility and style. He only had 8 rushes in his first 2 games this season. He did have a rushing touchdown, also lost a fumble as well.
He's a wide receiver. 8 rushes is a lot of rushes for what's supposed to be a wide receiver.
And he's lining up like a running back for whatever reason.
Second down and call it a long one for Framingham State. Bean remains in the backfield. And he will get the carry again. Great blocking by the Ram line. Bean is untouched until he hits the second level. Finally brought down by Josh Brewster. The Framingham State offensive line, Alex, is just dominating right now.
Boy, you said it. And look at this hole right here for Bean to go through. And once he gets into the open field, it's easy yardage. Nice stiff arm there as well as he gets down to the 25.
First and 10, Framingham now at the Falcon 26-yard line. Looks like they're knocking on the door. Less than 2 minutes into this one, Framingham State already deep into Falcon territory. Bean remains in the backfield. Play action fake. Walker goes long. Jump ball falls incomplete. Looks like it was intended for, I believe that's number, help me.
Looked like 12. Let's see, his number is actually scrunched up in the worst possible way. I think we're going to go with 17.
17, Malcolm Bryant, the freshman wideout.
just well overthrown to the left side. He needed a Canadian football field to get that catch in.
It'll be second down now for Framingham State. 12:54, as you can see, left here in the first quarter. Walker, quick pass to the right is complete. That's Colicchio. He's across the 15 to the 14. Stop the clock, move the chains. First down, Framingham State.
Yeah, and I'm sure Framingham State has game planned a lot for this game, and right now it looks like they're finding the holes. You'll see right here, pass off to the right and open space. And Framingham State definitely on the move right now, down to the 15-yard line, 14-yard line.
Karan Wright back into the backfield. Bean set up as the slot receiver on the near side. Handoff goes to Wright, running to the right side. Not much there. He's brought down after a gain of a couple. Leading the assault for the Falcons was DeMar Collins.
Trying to go with the run on the right side. A bit surprised we haven't seen Jalen Green yet. Maybe he's hurt too. I have no idea. But nonetheless, if they're starting with Stephen Bean in the backfield and Karan Wright. But Wright did get some carries in the Cortland game. He had 8 carries going into this week. That time just trying to break through the line on the right side. Got a couple.
Walker barking signals from the shotgun on second down and 6. Looks to his left. Now under pressure, he'll run for it, and he is brought down. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. I think they will give him a gain of a yard. It'll be third down and about 6.
Yeah, really not much there for Zachary Walker. We take another look here, and really well covered down the field, and Zach Walker nowhere to go, and just taken down after what looks like a short gain. So a long third down. What a confidence boost this would be for Fitchburg State to hold them.
Now third down and 6. Framingham State lines up with 3 receivers to the left and 1 on the right. Walker looks to his right, jump ball for the end zone. It is up, it's caught, and that is a touchdown, Mike Colicchio. So just like that, Danny, on their first possession, Framingham State marches the ball downfield almost effortlessly, and they put 6 points on the board.
High efficiency shown by this Rams offense. Let's look at the replay. Long floater down to the far side corner. It is just out of our reach, but Mike Colicchio able to just pull that in for the 6.
Well, you didn't see it there on the replay, but he did get his foot down, so it is a good touchdown.
Extra point attempt from Sean St. Marie is up, and it is good. We are less than 4 minutes into this game, and the Falcon defense has to be feeling a little shell-shocked. They're down 7-0.
Well, you feel like Framingham State's coaching staff is definitely ready for this game. I mean, here it is again. Just a wonderful throw to the corner of the end zone. Nice athletic catch, and definitely a foot in bounds.
Just the 1 foot, but again, it is college football. That's all you need.
All 3 of those passes from Zach Walker going right to Michael Colicchio. So 3 for 434 for Zach Walker. His 1 miss when he tried to find Malcolm Bryant on the left side, but he's finding Colicchio and finding him well right now.
Fitchburg State will look to answer. Set back to return for the Falcons. That's Jake Elaine and Jaquay Solomon, I believe.
That would be correct, with the lane farther back right now, standing around the 5. While at the 15 now, marching backwards, is Solomon.
And St. Marie will kick it away for the Rams. Now, Alex, are these Rams going to move to Los Angeles too, do you think?
Well, I mean, if they keep playing that they've been in MASCAC the last few years, I think Los Angeles would consider it.
Squib kick taken in by one of the up men for the Falcons. Really nothing happening there on the return for Cody Mullen. He's brought down shy of the 30-yard line.
And yes, the St. Louis Rams will actually make their debut in Los Angeles this Sunday afternoon.
Do you think they're going to actually play football, or are we going to get a repeat of that horrible showing against the 49ers?
Oh, God.
That was bad.
Let's hope not, right?
So as the Falcons take the field, they are led by quarterback Garrett Delakiai. He is their number 12. Javon Brown-Simpson is the running back. 4 wideouts for the Falcons on 1st and 10 from their own 29. Delakiai quick pass to the left is short and incomplete, intended for Jesse Lastra.
I think he was just trying to hurry up that throw to the left side, trying to find Lastra and just undershot it. But one other thing that caught my eye, we were told that Devin Samil wasn't going to play, but I see number 8 in green out there.
Samil was one of the captains. He is lined up as a receiver. So by all indications, Devin Samil is healthy and ready to go. Second down now for the Falcons. Lastra goes in motion to the near side. It's a handoff to Javon Brown-Simpson. He goes straight up the gut, gains maybe 3. We'll call it 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, guys, and if Fitchburg State wants to have success in this game, they're going to need the same rushing attack that they got last week. I mean, really, that's what really dominated Castleton, is their rushing attack from Fitchburg State.
3rd down and 7 for Fitchburg State. Delakiai back to pass, looks to his right, he throws, pass is complete, brought in by Taylor Ekstrom, and that's good for a Fitchburg 1st down. Mark him down at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, and we'll see Garrett Delakiai right here. Decent throw, but yeah, I mean, into open space and all the way up to the 46-yard line for Fitchburg State.
Now on 1st down, Delakiai will throw again. He throws to his left high, but brought down. A good leaping catch there by Devin Samil.
Throw right over the middle. Looked like there were a lot of Rams around, but no one in the immediate vicinity, and that was all that was important there. As Samil able to leap up, make the catch. Doesn't get a lot of yards after the carry there, but good enough. 9 yards.
2nd down and less than a yard for the Falcons. Handoff goes to Javon Brown-Simpson. He, I believe, got the 1st down. So in that respect, it's a good run. And they will move the chains. Now, Alex, real quick, what have you seen from Garrett Delakiai on these first few passes?
Well, I mean, he's been able to set his feet, which I think is the most important thing. I mean, we're talking about an ankle injury here, so he's been able to plant his throw very well. And he looks fine to me so far. I don't know about you guys.
I think he looks fine to me, too.
Low snap actually bounces. Delakiai does a good job, has to get rid of it. He just chucks that ball out of bounds.
Intended receiver was Jesse Lastra, and really under the immediate pressure there from the botched snap, he's just trying to throw that downfield, try to make something out of it. At the very least, throw it over the one Ram that was defending Lastra so that he can't intercept it.
Yeah, and guys, we saw it last week with bad snaps, and Fitchburg State definitely does not want to make that a habit here against a very good Framingham State team.
2nd down and 10 for Fitchburg State. 3 receivers to the near side. That's Sterling Garvin in the backfield, and Garvin will get the carry running straight up the middle. Good gain for him. Call it probably 5 yards. Bring up a manageable 3rd down. Now, to your point, Alex, about Garrett Delakiai, I feel, and this is just my eye test, the accuracy is there. To my eye, he's throwing just with his arms. He's not getting any weight on his right ankle. He is just using all arm strength to deliver the ball, and that's something to watch going forward.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we've seen some...
Now on 3rd down and 9, Delakiai has to scramble. He'll keep it himself. There's a flag down. Delakiai jumps out of bounds, and you actually saw him grab the stick attendant. Danny, what's the name for that position? But he actually needed help keeping his balance as he jumped out of bounds.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's not really into running at this point. Let's see what this is, holding.
And it is a hold against the Falcons, so bring this one back 10 yards, and it'll bring up 3rd down and about 15.
Well, good coverage down the field for Framingham State, so really nothing down there for Garrett to really throw to. So he decides to take off and run, and you're right, he did grab the flag attendant down there, and you know, it is something to watch.
And now you see him just favoring the right leg as he's signaling commands there at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and it's definitely something to watch as we go forward here.
3rd down and about 17 after the penalty. Delakiai pumps and throws to the right, complete to Garvin, and he is pushed out of bounds. Delakiai took a big hit, but he is able to get up mostly under his own power. The Falcons will kick it away.
Well, that 3rd down throw to the right side, finding Sterling Garvin in the right flat, and the important thing for Garvin was just get as many yards as he can before he get pushed out of bounds. In the end, he only got about a couple of those back, and the Falcons will punt on their first possession of the night.
Christopher Ludwig will kick it away, and this is a bit of a difficult kick for a punter. You're inside the enemy's territory, so you don't want to give it all the leg. You want to try to pin them deep. 2 men set back for the Rams. High spiral taken in at the 15-yard line and actually making a return for Framingham State. That's Napoleon Miller. He cuts back. He's across the 30-yard line and finally brought down.
Yeah, Napoleon Miller, a fantastic run. I mean, really, he had to fight for a lot of that. And we'll see it right here. Fitchburg State misses a few tackles, and Napoleon Miller just keeps his legs churning, really. You'll see it here at the 30-yard line, able to get across and finally taken down around the 31, but a very, very good return for Framingham State. And a big, big defensive series here coming up for Fitchburg State. They do not want to fall too far behind here tonight.
Framingham State comes out in the shotgun once again. 3 receivers to the far side. Quick pass to the far side is complete. That's Miller on the reception. And he'll gain maybe 3 yards. Finally brought down by the Falcons. That's the first completion for Framingham State to a man who isn't Colecchio.
Yeah, Napoleon Miller, one of the standout wide receivers for Framingham State this year, so definitely something Fitchburg State has to watch for. Framingham State likes a lot of the 3 wide receivers and 4 wide receiver sets like you see right here.
Now 2nd down and 6 for Framingham State. Karan Wright in the backfield, and Wright will get the carry. He has a big hole in front of him. He's across midfield before he is finally brought down.
Yeah, and you mentioned how great the Framingham State offensive line has been. And
my apologies, that's actually Trevon Offley, the ball carrier, and Offley made an awfully good run on that one.
Well, you couldn't have said it better. I mean, and Framingham State, their offensive line is showing to be the strongest suit in this game as far as we're concerned here early on.
Now 1st and 10, high snap, handoff goes to Offley. He runs to the far side. There's a flag down. Offley is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but we will check to see what the foul is.
Last play was an 18-yard run for Trayvon Offley. His second run not so successful, but the flag may change the narrative of this play.
Well, it is a hold against the Rams.
Holding, 57 offense, 10-yard penalty.
And the Falcons will accept it. So back Framingham State up. It'll be 1st down and about 20.
Well, it'll affect the narrative of the play by taking that run off his board.
Yeah, it didn't exist. What play? That's one way to change the narrative, right?
He'll take that for the time being. 1 run for 18 yards.
1st and 20.
Now 1st and 20 for Framingham State. See Walker calling signals to his receivers. And he will pass. Looks to his right and throws. Good route, and wide open is Napoleon Miller. A beautifully delivered ball by Walker. They're going to rule that incomplete.
Well, let's have a look at the replay and see if he was able to bring that in.
That's a good call. That is an incomplete pass.
Yeah, the ball hit the ground.
Excellent work by the FATV camera crew.
Yeah, nice job by our replay team getting that. The ball did hit the ground, so you could see a lot of Fitchburg State players waving their arms incomplete, and turns out he did not have control.
It's definitely a sigh of relief for the Falcons, especially since Miller was open by a good few yards. It was just up to him to haul it in, and he was unable to do so.
Now 2nd down and 20 for Framingham State. And Walker hands off. This is Karan Wright. Not much for him, maybe to midfield. It'll bring up 3rd down. And Alex, is there such a thing as a long 13? Because I was going to say it's 3rd and a long 13.
Yeah, I think you could see a long 13.
Okay, so it'll be 3rd and a long 13 coming up for Framingham. They need to get to just inside the 37-yard line of Fitchburg State.
13 is a long way.
That is.
39 feet. If it's a long 13, closer to 42, maybe 41.
Exactly.
And they're calling it they're calling it 3rd down and 14 because it's so long.
And again, I say, handoff goes to Offley straight up the middle. He's got a 1st down and more. Offley's across the 25, finally brought down at the 17-yard line. Trayvon Offley with a great run there.
Yeah, talk about a clutch run on 3rd down and 14, we'll call it. And you'll see it right here. And the offensive line has done a fantastic job. But there is a flag
come in there. This one might be coming back.
And it is.
So another run by Offley that is negated by a penalty. This one cancels out a 1st down.
And it was an excellent run, too, finding a hole right up the middle. This Rams line, can't understate how strong they've been in this first quarter, especially on that last run. We said that Karan Wright didn't get much on that, but the line performed so admirably that 6 yards didn't look like a whole lot.
After the play, sideline warning on Fitchburg. That's their first.
In addition to the penalty, there is a sideline warning against the Falcons, so that's something they'll have to watch. Fitchburg State did have a problem with discipline last week, having a lot of turnovers and penalties.
Yeah, and it's been a problem for them all season long. I think over 100 yards and penalties in their first 2 games of the season.
That is correct.
3rd down and 24 for Framingham. Offley is the running back, and he will get the carry. This time, nothing going for him. He's shoved down after a gain of just a couple yards. And thanks to penalties and drops and basically a little bit of luck, Fitchburg State's defense is able to force Framingham to kick it away.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, Framingham State's offensive line has looked strong in this game as far as their blocking goes. But again, their penalties have hurt them so far in this game, and it forces them out of a 1st down. Now they have to punt the ball on 4th and 23.
Discipline wasn't a huge issue for the Rams in their first 2 games. 95 combined penalty yards in their first 2 contests.
Taylor Ekstrom takes the punt in at about the 26-yard line, and he is planted down at about the 26-yard line.
It's also worth pointing out that the Rams' primary kicker is not their punter, as well as it's Chris Dagg, the senior defensive back, who has been their punter this year, averages 33.5 yards over the air from his foot.
That was a good kick by Dagg. No real return for Fitchburg State. So now Garrett Delakiai will bring the Falcon offense onto the field 1st and 10 at their own 26. 3 receivers to the near side now in motion. And handoff goes straight up the middle. That's Javon Brown-Simpson. Nothing doing for him at all. He has just stood up.
Falcons tried to bring Herbert Acosta in motion, maybe try to fake the end around, but they did give it to Brown-Simpson, and the Rams D not buying into that.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting series for Fitchburg State as far as what Pat Haverty and the coaching staff thinks about how Garrett's doing. See if they keep running the ball, or maybe he'll try to throw.
Play action fake on 2nd down. Delakiai will roll to his left. Quick pass is complete to Acosta. He's across the 40-yard line and moved the chains. It's a Fitchburg State 1st down. Good mobility there, Danny, displayed by Garrett Delakiai.
Look at that pump fake there, too. Getting Campbell Marchant to fake out there, and that buys Delakiai just enough time to find Acosta, who's open just past the 35-yard line.
So we wondered about the mobility of Garrett Delakiai. There have been some question marks, but on that play, he was able to create and got a 1st down out of it. Now for the Falcons, Delakiai will pass, looks to his left, throws over the middle, pass is incomplete, right off the hands of his intended receiver. I believe that was Jesse Brown.
Just thrown a little too hot there from Delakiai. That or Brown just couldn't pull it right in, but nonetheless, looked like it was a solid throw. Wide, Brown was open. Just be a matter of bouncing back and trying again.
2nd down and 10 coming up for Fitchburg State. Delayed handoff straight up the middle. That's Sterling Garvin with a big run into Framingham State territory. A gain of about 17 yards and a Fitchburg 1st down.
Yeah, nice job by the Fitchburg State offensive line creating the hole. See it right there in the center. And Sterling Garvin, he has the speed to take it right up the middle for a very good gain.
Back to live action. Delakiai throws long to the right. That pass is picked off. Don't know who he was going for. It wound up in the arms of Kenny Bartolo.
Just looked like from the quick glance that I was able to get, he just overthrew that one.
Yeah, and you'll see it right here. And on the field, I mean, we could see it up here. He's just waiting for this pass. Bartolo is the whole time, and he is able to catch it with his feet going out of bounds, but he does have the foot in So it is a good interception, and Framingham State takes over.
And he's throwing to Herbert Acosta, who's only 5'5", so he doesn't have that height advantage over Bartolo, who's 6'2". That's a huge difference there.
So just like that, you think Fitchburg State is gaining some momentum. Instead, they turn the ball over. Framingham State will have it 1st and 10 at their own 18 as they look once again to make this a two-score game. Easy for me to say. Karan Wright gets the carry on 1st down, and he is brought down at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten half a yard, if that.
One thing that'll be worth watching out is to see if the Falcons' D-line is going to be able to get wise to the tricks that the Framingham O-line's been up to. At least in terms of the runs from Karan Wright, Wright hasn't really been able to get much traction against this Falcon D-line. Although if the Falcons keep giving up strong plays from Stephen Bean and Trayvon Offley, then it could be a long night.
2nd down and 10 coming up for Framingham State. Wright gets the carry again on the sweep to the right. A little more blocking in front of him. He gains maybe 6 yards, call it 3rd and 4 coming up.
About 6 on the play.
And you see there Trayvon Offley, number 44, will check into the backfield. Offley's a big fella, listed 5'7", 200 out of Brockton.
He's probably been to Fitchburg a couple times for those annual Fitchburg-Brockton games.
Yeah, he's used to running all over Fitchburg defenses. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
He's lining up as a receiver, though.
3rd down and 4 coming up for Framingham State. They will have Stephen Bean in the backfield. Whistles and flags at the snap. I think the Falcons may have been caught trying to jump the snap there.
They're definitely jumping on that one. The question is going to be whether or not any of the other officials saw a false start to bait them. The officials are going to discuss this. Obviously, something has to give on that.
It's a question of who jumped, who forced who said what to who. And obviously, this is a very big call. It'll either be 3rd and 9 or a 1st down for Framingham State.
Obviously, the officials taking this very seriously. They want to get it right.
False start, number 10 in the offense.
And it is a false start against the Rams. That's
down.
a big swing in momentum. What had been a 3rd and 4 now becomes a long 3rd and 9 as Framingham State is pinned rather far back in their own territory. They need to get to the 29 just to move the chains.
Yeah, and last time they were in this position, a 3rd down and long, they just ran the ball up the middle. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here. It looks like they're going to set up with one running back again, but another 4 wide receiver set, which is what they really like to do on offense. They like to spread the ball.
Handoff goes to Trayvon Offley. He has an enormous hole, and he hurdles a defender. Offley gets a 1st down and more. Finally brought down at the 41-yard line. Another very impressive run for the senior running back, Trayvon Offley. Take a look at this one, Danny.
Just runs right around the line. Look at the attempted tackle there. I believe that's Usman Sam who tried to make that tackle, try to knock him down there. But Offley, for that size, 5'7", 200, he can hurdle quite high. Leaps over Sam. It's a big gain for the Rams. They turn it into another 1st down.
21 yards, and they keep the football 1st and 10, Framingham State at their own 41. Now play action fake, pass to the near side is complete. That's Napoleon Miller. He spins out of a tackle, and he's brought down in Falcon territory. Stop the clock, move the chains. Alex Bogdasarian, the Framingham State offense just cannot be stopped right now.
Yeah, and Miller, who averaged 12 yards per reception last week against Cortland State, he is at it again here tonight. As the quarter winds down, Framingham State looks to be in complete control.
Framingham State looking to get a couple more plays off before the end of the 1st quarter. They have 1st and 10 at the Falcon 49-yard line. Now in motion to the near side comes Malcolm Bryant, and Bryant gets the reception on 1st down. Ducks out of one tackle, can't get out of a couple more. Brought down by a couple Falcons. Looks like it was Trey Watson and Usman Sam, easy for me to say, bringing him down on the 1st down completion.
Dylan Woods getting in the way of that as well, as we saw from Malcolm Bryant, moving just a little bit in motion, but just enough in motion. Play clock hasn't started.
I think they're gonna. It's up to Framingham State if they want to run one more play this quarter. They have 3 receivers to the far side, and Walker just lets the clock run out. So, Alex, as we complete the first quarter, Framingham State is up by a score and driving. They seem to have all the momentum right now.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like same old Framingham State coming in here tonight. And really, what stuck out to me on the first drive was the open space of their wide receivers. I mean, they're really able to do whatever they wanted against this very good Fitchburg State defense, in my opinion. But I mean, Fitchburg State, they need to play up to Framingham State's level. That's going to be the key for the rest of the game. I mean, Fitchburg State, they have not faced an opponent to this caliber yet this season. And it's going to be a big test here under the lights. But, I mean, as far as Framingham State goes, they're really able to do whatever they want here so far.
They've done so well to open up the lines.
Yep.
Danny, you called Framingham State the final boss. Right now for the Falcons, is it game over?
Well, it's 7-0. It's never over if it's a one-score game. But right now, the Rams definitely have the momentum. They're driving downfield. They've been making plays at will, opening up the lines, getting big gains to the point where a 6-yard run is not a whole lot for them right now. 127 total yards in the first quarter.
Yeah, and guys, to me, the story of the game so far is Framingham State dominating the line of scrimmage with their offensive line. I mean, yeah, they did have a couple penalties that set them back, but at the same time, you can see it, how they can open up holes for their running game and also give their quarterback enough time to find their wide receivers down the field. So Fitchburg State, if they want to come back in this game, they really need to improve at the line of scrimmage.
All right, now 2nd and 7 as we start the second quarter. Falcons inching up to the line, and there is going to be a penalty on this, perhaps a free play. That's tipped, that's picked off. We'll see if it counts.
There is no way this counts.
David Desemy trying to bring that back for the Falcons. He's down at the 36-yard line, but I think the Falcons are going to be called for the offsides or the neutral zone infraction regardless. Free play for Walker. He threw it, it got picked off, but what can you do?
Yeah, and you can see the frustration on his face right there. He knows it's a defensive penalty.
Fitchburg State had, I believe, both the left end and the left defensive tackle. You see them there.
Down.
They were just sitting in the neutral zone. It felt like for 5 seconds before the snap. They jumped, they came back, they jumped again, they sat there. Finally, the flag was thrown. So it's 5-3 yards, and it negates the interception.
Yeah, and great job by Zach Walker to recognize that and snap the ball, and Framingham State got a free play out of it.
Didn't have to take any chances on that one. Just try to make the best they could out of it. Ended up getting picked off.
Oh, well, it's 5-3 yards. There is no downside there.
That's why we call it free play. So it'll be 2nd down and 2 for Framingham. Ball spotted at the 41-yard line in Fitchburg territory. Awfully in the backfield. Walker looking to take the snap out of the shotgun, as the Rams have been all contest long. He's looking to go mobile to the right. He is sacked by DeMar Collins.
DeMar Collins got incredible penetration. There was nothing Walker could do. It was like Collins was untouched, Alex.
Yeah, blindside hit, and Walker did not see him. And a great play there for the Fitchburg State defense to force a 3rd down and long.
Falcons will take back those yards they lost on the neutral zone infraction from DeMar Collins, the junior D lineman from Linwood, Illinois. 3rd down and 10. The Rams are 2 for 3 on 3rd down conversions today. Falcons trying to force a punt out of Framingham State. We'll see what happens. Walker dropping back, looking around. He's going to throw deep downfield, double coverage, and that is incomplete.
There were 2 Falcons there. I think both of them wanted the interception. You can see there it's Malcolm Brown Simpson and Usman Sam pounding the field turf. Take a look at this one again.
Yeah, and Malcolm Simpson pounding the turf after this one. Double coverage. It looks like one of them could have had it, but it just goes up as a breakup. But 4th down for Framingham State. So nonetheless, Fitchburg State will force a punt here from Framingham.
I understand that this is a baseball analogy and not football. One of those guys has got to say, I got it, right?
That's right, yeah.
They both went for the ball. Neither came up with it, and Framingham State gets to kick it away.
Chris Dagg will have the punt there. It'll be taken at the 5. Ram Gunner misses the mark. 2nd effort and takes multiple Rams to wrap up Taylor Ekstrom, and he didn't really get much of anything on that one.
Danny, why do you catch a punt inside your own 10-yard line?
I have no idea. Thought maybe he could bring it back. He could not bring it back. I mean, the gunner making that run downfield, it made Ekstrom take that one move to avoid him. And then after that, the other Rams were able to follow on. And so any momentum Ekstrom could carry out of that is lost.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake. Pat Haverty will not be happy about that. You have to let that roll into the end zone, or at least see where it bounces.
So the Falcons will start deep in their own territory. It'll be a run up the middle. Javon Brown-Simpson bouncing around off a couple defenders. Actually gets a good few yards on that one. But all will be spotted at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, and Jacobson, the linebacker junior, on the play. And Fitchburg State really trying to get some momentum here. Down by a score, 2nd down and 3.
That last drive ending in an interception. It's going to be another run up the middle. Brown-Simpson bouncing around. This one's going to be good enough for a 1st down. He gets the yard or 2 that he needed. Falcons will take it.
As they stop the clock and move the chains, guys, I want to remind our fans at home, in addition to this game, Fitchburg High is playing right now at Crocker Field, and you can watch that game on FATV as well. Comcast Channel 99, Verizon Channel 37, or online at fatv.org. Both Fitchburg games are live on FATV.
There'll be another handoff, 3 in a row for Javon Brown-Simpson, trying to run around the left side of the line, going to get a few yards on that one. Not as much in than compared to the last couple. But 4 yards, Falcons, they're moving it along. It'll be 2nd down.
Now, Alex, if you're Framingham State, you've seen Garrett Delikai have trouble throwing the ball downfield, and Fitchburg State is going heavy with the running game. When do you start stacking the box?
I think you do right now. I mean, he's not really moving well. I think you need to really put all the pressure you can on him right now if you're Framingham State.
Falcons trying to respond by putting a fullback in the backfield. We didn't see that too much last week against Castleton. The Falcons always going with one back in the field, not putting a fullback in there, but that's what they did. Didn't get too much out of it anyway, though.
Yeah, 2 different opponents, though. I mean, Fitchburg State, they're going to have to try harder than that tonight against Framingham.
Falcons will return to 4 receivers. Delikai has not thrown a pass on this drive. 3rd down. He looks to his left. That's tipped. It is caught. Taylor Ekstrom able to come up with it despite the tip, and it'll be a 1st down for the Falcons.
Yeah, and John, to your point, I think Framingham State's really trying to sit back and see how good Garrett Delikai can throw it. It seems like, you know, to use a basketball analogy, they're giving him the jumper. And so he's able to complete this pass to the side, and Fitchburg State can still move the ball.
Now Javon Brown-Simpson running around the left flank again. He's going to get about 6-7 yards on that one. Another good run for Brown-Simpson. The Falcons continue moving downfield.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Alex, great blocking there. You take it.
Yeah, you see the blocking right there, but another great run, and Fitchburg State really trying to establish a running game tonight, which could be a big factor for them coming back.
It'll be 2nd down for Fitchburg. Another handoff. Looks like it's Garvin this time, and he's going to be held back there. Don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage. It'll either be a short loss or nothing, but it's going to be 3rd down.
Now, Alex, I want to get back to the point you made about Framingham State giving Delikai the jumpers, so to speak. I'm not going to say that that's all Garrett Delikai can do, but if they're giving him those 5-yard quick outs on every play, he's going to take them.
Oh, absolutely, and Fitchburg State would take them. I mean, are you kidding me? Fitchburg State, really, if they can get open receivers in this game, they're definitely going to get back into it.
2 receivers either side. It's Jesse Lastra who gets open on the left side. He's in bounds. He comes out of bounds. It's going to be a 1st down for Fitchburg, and they will move the chains downfield. 1st and 10.
I don't like to toot my own horn, but I believe somebody just said something about a 5-yard quick out. That looks like a 5-yard quick out, doesn't it?
Well, it was a 5-yard quick out, and as you said, Framingham State is giving them that throw. So if you're Fitchburg State, you take it, and it's a great sign for you offensively if Framingham State's just going to sit back and let you throw the ball.
6 for 10, 51 yards is Delikai on 1st down. Everybody wrapping up Javon Brown-Simpson to the line of scrimmage is about as far as he'll get. And it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and guys, you see it in the NFL all the time. You know, if you're facing the Cowboys and Tony Romo is just coming back from an injury, you know, if you're the Patriots, you're going to let him throw the ball, see what he can do. And this is a lot like what Framingham State's game plan is like tonight. They're just sitting back, letting Garrett Delikai throw the ball, seeing and this one's tipped, but they're seeing how well he can throw, and we'll see how they adjust as the game goes along if Garrett does prove that he can throw the ball, which he has so far.
That's 2 of the last 3 throws now for Delakiai that have been tipped, and we'll look at the replay. One of the linemen just leaping up there and knocking it away.
So now Fitchburg State faces, I believe, their longest third down of this drive, 3rd and 10. They're probably going to have to throw the ball downfield.
Would seem like the best option here, and Delakiai drops back, throws bullet over the middle, and is caught at the 49-yard line in Rams territory. It's Jesse Lastra.
Yeah, clutch throw there by Delakiai, and again, he has the protection, and Lastra finds some room up the middle. Pat Haverty loves these calls. The slant passes up the middle, and Lastra right there for a big gain and a first down for Fitchburg State, moving the ball.
Falcons methodically making their way downfield. It'll be a handoff to Sterling Garvin, moving around the left side. Maybe a yard. He will get a yard, and that'll be it.
Now getting back to that third down pass real quick, Garrett Delakiai had a great pocket. He had incredible protection. He was able to step up and deliver the bullet pass. It only traveled about 12 yards through the air. That's still probably the longest, deepest pass we've seen Delakiai throw that was accurate.
Yeah, it was, and Fitchburg State loves those plays up the middle, so I feel like he's very comfortable making that throw.
That was Jaquay Solomon getting his first run of the night, just trying to spell Garvin and Brown Simpson. A run up the middle, didn't get anything on that one, 3rd down.
2 short runs for the Falcon offense brings up another 3rd and long. They need the 38-yard line of Framingham State for a first down.
Now Delakiai will roll to his right, looking for somewhere to go. Here's a throw, it's for Lastra again. He catches it down at the 36-yard line.
Well, you see the X factor in this game, like we said in the beginning. It's Garrett Delakiai's ability to make throws, and you see it right here. A very nice pass down the sideline to Lastra. Another first down for Fitchburg State. They look very good on offense so far. Framingham State giving Delakiai any pass he wants, and this is how it's going to be if that continues.
On first down, a run up the middle, Javon Brown Simpson not getting much of anything. But to go back to a previous point, I think we've been understating in this game, in the previous one, how much of an impact Jesse Lastra has been having for the Falcons, the junior wideout from Fort Myers, Florida.
Especially on this drive, Danny, Jesse Lastra has almost been a security blanket for Garrett Delakiai. He is always the man that Delakiai looks to, and at least in this game, Lastra has been up to the task.
Now it'll be 2nd down and 10 again for the Falcons. They're on the Rams' 36-yard line, approaching 4-down territory if they're not already in it. 2 receivers set up to the left, 2 to the right. Delakiai will throw to the right, looking for Lastra. He juggles it, not able to pull it in that time. Hopefully we didn't just jinx him there by calling him the security blanket.
Yeah, this one, it looked like it was thrown a little behind, but again, it's the same slant pass up the middle. Just thrown a little too high, and lucky that wasn't intercepted there by 37.
Thomas Burns almost Johnny on the spot. You saw Lastra reach up, try to make the incredible catch. He almost knocked that one right into the hands of Tom Burns.
And now the Falcons need to convert on another 3rd down. 10 yards to get a first. Delakiai going backwards, farther backwards. Now he's going to roll, he's going to run, he's going to throw. It's nearly picked off as that was Sven Jacobson who was there for the Rams that nearly pulled that one in.
Yeah, and we'll see it again. Delakiai getting pressured this time. He rolls out, but he's able to use the speed to get to the outside, but a difficult throw right here, really at any level. Lucky that one wasn't picked off, but 4th down for Fitchburg State, and they will punt it again. But, guys, I have to tell you, Garrett Delakiai, he looks better and better as this game goes along as far as moving the ball and moving with his legs.
Honestly, guys, I'm a little surprised by the play call there on 3rd and 9, especially considering the field position. You're at the 36-yard line of Framingham State. I thought maybe they would run it and then go for it on 4th. Instead, they try to get it all and now kick it away.
At the very least, they'll try to pin the Rams back as far as they can. They will at least pin them inside the 20 as Napoleon Miller brings that back a couple of yards.
Good punt by Christopher Ludwig, a low bouncing kick, really no opportunity for a return there for Napoleon Miller.
They'll spot the ball at the 15-yard line. This might be the deepest that the Rams have started tonight. With 6:55 to go, second quarter, Fitchburg 0, Framingham 7.
And again for the Falcon defense, your quarterback has looked all right, but your offense hasn't been able to put points on the board. You need to keep Framingham out of the end zone here. Keep this to a one-score game.
Just trying to keep it close. That's going to be the primary goal if the Falcons can't get on the board, as Miller's having some trouble in the backfield. He gets a pass off, and it is complete to the right side, but it's going to be for a loss. Or Walker, excuse me, on the throw as it's taken in by Stephen Bean, but it'll be a loss of a couple.
Yeah, and very good coverage downfield by the defensive ends of Fitchburg State, defensive backs of Fitchburg State, and you'll see Walker right here almost getting sacked. He's able to elude it, but gets the pass off, but really nothing going there. A loss of 1 on the play.
Good job by Walker to avoid the rush by Nathan Holly. Unfortunately for him, the pass was completed for a loss, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 11.
Falcons will take that, though. They try to run on the right side this time. Karan Wright. Looks like he got a good few yards on that one. He's down around the 20-yard line.
And a big 3rd down and 11 right here with Framingham State pinned back.
Yeah.
3rd down and 6.
Looks like they have the down stick down at the 25-yard line, so I'll say 5 on that. But in any case, the Rams have been pretty solid on 3rd downs in this contest, 2 of 4.
Fitchburg State basically giving away the defensive back blitz there.
Now it's a run for Karan Wright up the middle. It's going to be pretty close. And it is going to be good enough.
I thought they were going to bring in the chains, but they're just going to move them. It's a 1st down for Framingham State.
Yeah, and again, on a 3rd down run, Framingham State able to pick up the 1st down. Those are killer as the game goes along. Fitchburg State's really going to have to pick that up as the game goes along, being able to stop Framingham State on 3rd down.
And if nothing else, guys, this at least allows Framingham State to run off some more of that clock, maybe force Fitchburg State to start burning their timeouts on defense if they want to get points on the board here in the 1st half.
Play action, throw to the right side for not much of anyone.
I think he was just throwing that one away.
I think that's what he needed to do in that situation, as the Falcons did not bite on the play action.
Yeah, and it looks like Fitchburg State's playing a zone coverage in the back. I mean, that's how it looks. And Zach Walker really nowhere to go with that, though. Just chucks it out of bounds for the incomplete.
See what they do with 2nd and 10. Looks like 3 receivers to the left side. Got their big weapons in Bryant, Bean, and Miller all stacked to the left. Offley remains in the backfield for Framingham. They'll pitch it out to him. He'll duck through a line. A leaping tackle by Malcolm Brown Simpson tangles the legs of Offley enough to trip him up and force a 3rd down.
Now, Alex, that's a wrinkle we haven't seen from the Framingham State offense. We've seen them hand the ball off out of the shotgun, but that was a designed pitch to the left side.
It was, and it was designed to go to the end of the line, and Offley, as he's been doing all season long, finds the hole again and sets up a 3rd down and short. But Framingham State able to get some clutch runs in this game so far. That's what I've been able to see.
Rams move the receivers over to the right, but it's going to be a run from right, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st, as he's well across the 35, down at the 38. 1st and 10 Framingham.
And you take a look at this one again, a good job by Wright running out of the 1st hit in the backfield. It's not a fancy run, it's only 3 or 4 yards, but it moves the chains. Framingham State has the ball. Realistically, Fitchburg State is not going to get a chance to score here in the 1st half. Now it's all on the Rams to see what they can do.
A question of how well can the Rams run the clock down. Looks like they'll keep it on the ground on 1st down. It's going to be right again, runs to the left side. Desemy gets up there, makes the tackle, pushes him out of bounds around the 41-yard line, a gain of just 3 yards.
Yeah, and a nice job to get out of bounds here as he runs to the side. And a very shifty run, really as shifty as you can get for no gain, or maybe a gain of 1 or 2.
Interesting how Wright had his hands on the face mask of Desemy there.
Tried to deliver the stiff arm, but Desemy did a good job wrapping him up and pulling him out of bounds.
Second down, they'll mark it at 8. A throw, this time it's Clicchio. He goes right out of bounds. Be pretty close to the marker.
And now, guys, as we duck under 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter, you see Framingham State being a little more mindful with regard to the clock. Clicchio made that catch and just jumped right out of bounds. He didn't even fight for any extra yardage.
Now it'll be 3rd down and 2. Now motion on the line. Falcons feel they've earned themselves a false start.
I think that was the left guard, Dan Feely, number 69.
Offense,
It was not a very
penalty,
nice play by
down.
him. It's a big 5-yard loss. It'll be 3rd down and 7 now for the Rams.
We've seen this Rams offense. I mean, they can take a couple yards on a run pretty easily, but now to get 7, have to do something else on this regard. They might even be able to take it since Offley is lining up in the backfield, and he's had some great runs.
Real quick, Alex, if you're Fitchburg State, do you consider calling timeout here?
No.
Just let the clock go?
Yeah, I think so. That's what they're going to do.
It's going to be a quick throw to the right side. Bryant pulls it in. He's going to be wrapped up by Trey Watson. He's not going to get very much. It's going to be enough for a stop for Fitchburg State. And they'll get the ball back with about 1:45 left.
Fitchburg State has all 3 timeouts. Why aren't they calling timeout here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Pat Haverty had the opportunity there, and he just chooses not to. I mean, my thought process is he must be happy that this is just a 1-score game. I mean, that's the only logic that I can think of why he wouldn't take a timeout there. I mean, I would guess that he would want all the time in the world on offense.
It's got to come back to the health of your quarterback. I mean, if he's healthy, you would think that they would take every opportunity to score.
That was not a very good punt there from Chris Stagg as he was being pressured there. He rolled out to the right with a rugby-style punt. But now it all comes down to where the linesman marks him out of bounds, and he's standing at the 29-yard line. That's where the Falcons will start with 1:52 to go in this first half. It'll be about 71 yards and 112 seconds, but they have all 3 of their timeouts.
Falcons do have all 3 timeouts, but I really think, guys, if they were going to go all out and try to score before halftime, they would have called timeout at least after that 3rd down play. I would suspect you're going to see Fitchburg State hand it off here.
Well, on 1st down, they throw a pass to the left side. It's going to be Lastra again, trying to get as much yardage as he can, and he'll be down around the 34.
Okay, I was wrong.
And he stays in bounds, too, which just keeps the clock going even more.
He's going for the quick slant to the left side. 2nd down and 5. Falcons move a man in motion, and it is Lastra. He goes to the right side. Delakia takes a look at him, throws to the left instead. And that was caught. Sterling Garvin coming down with it. Doesn't really get anything positive for the Falcons. In fact, it's negative, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, and guys, I think if you were playing at a different level, if this was Division II or Division I, you would see a more aggressive play calling or maybe a play strategy, using the timeouts, getting the ball down the field. But I think Fitchburg State is content, I guess, to go down in halftime by a score.
Well, they're going to make a nice throw here, and it's Samil who makes the catch, and he's breaking downfield at the 40-yard line, at the 30. He shakes off a tackler, and he's down inside the 20.
Just like that, Devin Samil says, halftime, scoreless? No, we're going to the end zone.
Yeah, and you'll see it right here. Delakiai, he sees him all the way. Samil just standing there waiting for it, and then he breaks away. Breaking tackles, really dragging 2 guys, and then breaks away again inside the 20-yard line. And now you really think about those timeouts and how much clock they would have had they used them on defense.
They have them now.
And they have
39
them now.
seconds, they have 2 timeouts. An incredible play by Devin Samil, a man we didn't think was even going to be in the starting lineup for the Falcons. He got 15 yards after he was being brought down by 2 Ram defenders.
Justin, that's the play of the game right now. Samil just shaking off those tacklers. Rashawn Rivers, J.Q. Harris, both trying to drag him down, and neither of them could. The Falcons called timeout right after that play. Give themselves a moment to breathe, get Samil a chance. We can see him holding his right leg. We wonder if maybe that was perhaps where those rumored injury reports were coming from. But nonetheless, a great play, and by calling that timeout at that moment too, you give some more time to Samil just to get a little bit of rest. He doesn't have to come off for a play, and you still have him as a weapon with 39 seconds left. On first down, Delikiai looking to the left. He's going for the end zone. He's looking for Lastra, but he finds no one. Overthrown of Lastra, overthrown of Jesse Brown on the left side. Maybe he was trying to throw that away as well, but in any case, it's second down.
It almost looked to me, guys, like there was some miscommunication by the Falcon receivers. I think Lastra was running a post, and Delikiai expected him to go to the corner. There was just nobody there where Delikiai threw the ball.
If there's one positive, there was no Ram there either.
That's true.
Second down for the Falcons, 2 receivers on either side. Delikiai's rolling to the left, looking to the left. He's got time. He's going to try to scramble. Cut back to the right side. He's got some room. He's headed for the right side corner. He's going to go out of bounds around the 5-yard line. 24 seconds on the clock, and it'll be first down again for Fitchburg State.
And guys, after that play, you see right there, Garrett Delikiai is performing pretty well, but he is clearly not at 100%. He's able to get the yardage, but he is hobbling pretty gingerly. Take a look at this one again.
Yeah, and he had a long way to go here to get to the sideline. Really broken coverage down the field. Takes off, really making a few cuts, and I think right there, getting dragged down, he may have re-aggravated that ankle, but nice job to get out of bounds with still 24 seconds left.
And a timeout called by Framingham State.
All that time to prepare a play. There were 7 seconds on the play clock, and the Rams wanted to call time there.
So now, guys, it's first and goal for the Falcons at the 6-yard line. 24 seconds left on the clock, and Fitchburg State has both of their timeouts. There is no need for them to throw the ball here on first or second down. They could hand it off.
I would think on first down, I want to pass on first down is what I would do here. Wait, pass? No, I want to run. I'm sorry.
I mean, you can make the argument for either. We've seen Fitchburg State have a lot of success with the quick fade to the corner on first and goal. We've seen that a number of times from Garrett Delikiai. We've also seen designed runs. We saw one just last week by James Antonelli in a similar situation. Do you think, Alex, that Fitchburg State coaches would have the faith in Garrett Delikiai here on first and goal to make that call?
Yeah, I do, and we'll see how Garrett feels. It looks like he is moving okay after that limping coming back, but I feel like the coaching staff has full confidence in him.
And so on first down, he's going to look to the left side corner for the end zone. Nearly picked off as it's J.Q. Harris out in the corner who had the best chance of all for Framingham State.
Good defensive work there by J.Q. Harris, the junior DB out of Boston. Take a look at this one, Alex.
Yeah, and great coverage there by Harris. And really, he might want that one back, guys. I mean, he was falling out of bounds, but he had plenty of room to make that interception in the corner.
Just a bit overthrown. Samil didn't really have much of a chance on that one.
Samil didn't look like he knew where the ball was.
Yeah, he wasn't going for that one. And so now on second down, he's rolling to the left as Delikiai. Still rolling. He's going to throw to the end zone. And that is batted down and incomplete. 2 Rams in the vicinity.
That was Jaleel Wingard, the senior DB, who saved a touchdown. You'll see here on the replay, the Falcons do have a man open, but Delikiai's pass is just a little underthrown. And right there, Wingard gets up and swats it down. That would have been 6 points for Fitchburg State.
Samil was right there and in position, but Wingard able to get there for the Rams. 10 seconds left, third down.
Probably time for 2 plays.
And you have a timeout if you need to use it. You have 2, in fact. Falcons lining up 3 receivers to the left. Ekstrom, Lastra, and Samil. And whistles immediately after. Ekstrom was on the right side. We'll see what this is.
Timeout, Fitchburg.
The referee wants the ball back, but not at that moment.
And guys, you see right there, as soon as they're not actively playing, Garrett Delikiai is heavily favoring that right leg.
Must take so much effort to play through this injury. We know the Falcons kept him out of the second half of last week's game against Castleton. We were saying, too, for his own good.
We take a look at the Falcon cheerleaders on the sideline, and we want to wish a happy 21st birthday to Jackie. Happy birthday, Jackie, one of the Falcon cheerleaders. And again, folks, while we have a moment, we want to mention over at Crocker Field across town, Fitchburg High School is playing their home opener right now. As we head into halftime, obviously we want you to stay here, see the last 10 seconds of the second quarter, but then feel free to flip over. If you're on Comcast, turn to channel 99. Verizon, just hit that channel up button, go to channel 37. And if you're on fatv.org, you just find the government channel stream. You'll be able to see Fitchburg High School taking on Wachusett in their home opener.
On the government channel.
Well, we're on the education, so they're on the government channel.
Interesting.
Public channels for the public. PEG. How about that?
Here we go, third down, throw to the right side.
Tipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Sterling Garvin was coming out of the backfield, but I believe it was the left defensive end for Framingham State. We'll see here on the replay. That is number
that's big, 72.
72 is Campbell Marchant. Might have saved a touchdown there. And now Fitchburg State will bring on the field goal unit, try to get some points out of this drive.
Get anything out of this, a long drive. They've had their 3 chances all going over the air. And now kick is up. This is tipped and blocked. Picked up in the back of the end zone. Probably best for the Rams that they just sit on this one, but they're going to try to return it. And it's a long run downfield for Framingham State. They just keep going here. Cutting back around midfield. Gonna be taken down there. But a blocked field goal to close out the first half of the Falcons. And they're going to be held scoreless going into the break.
High drama at the end of the second quarter. J.Q. Harris very nearly swung momentum in a huge way. Take a look at it again here. The kick is blocked at the line. Heads up play by Harris to take it in at the back of the end zone. And then it's essentially a free play. Why not? He gets 50, 60 yards out of this one before finally, thankfully, if you're a Falcon fan, being brought down. So, guys, we will, in fact, go to the locker rooms. It is halftime here at Elliott Field. Fitchburg State trailing Framingham State by a score of 7-0. While we take a break, we encourage you to flip over and check out Fitchburg High, but we'll be back for the second half right here on FATV. We welcome you back to Elliott Field in Fitchburg, where the Fitchburg State University Falcons are taking on the Rams of Framingham State. And I'm John Gugerty, joined by Alex Bogdasarian and Danny Bolak. And Danny, as we head into the third quarter, Fitchburg State trails in this game by a score of 7-0.
Well, it was one of those halves where there was a lot of offense, but not a whole lot of scoring. Both teams were pretty efficient on third down, both recording first downs on third down at over a 50% clip. But the main issue really was just trying to get that last push for the Falcons. They were able to get to within the 6-yard line with seconds left in the first half, but on 3 plays couldn't find the end zone, and a short field goal attempt was blocked to close out the half.
Meanwhile, across town at Crocker Field, Wachusett is leading Fitchburg High by a score of 28-13. We'll keep you posted on the scores there, and of course, you're more than welcome to flip back and forth. Again, this is a unique, I think, first of its kind, live simulcast. Fitchburg State University and Fitchburg High School, both live at the same time. It's Friday Night Football here in Fitchburg.
So getting ready to go here for this third quarter. For the first time, we'll have a kickoff from the Rams. It's going to be Sean St. Marie who will kick it off. It's going to be a low pooch kick. Actually, it's the second kickoff, but I digress. Fitchburg will pick it up. It's Quinn Perkins, who's one of the up men. He gets to about the 30-yard line.
Folks who've been watching football in Fitchburg for a long time are probably familiar with seeing Quentin Perkins running around with the football on a Friday night. He has graduated Fitchburg High, and he is now a running back for Fitchburg State.
I find it interesting, he wears number 23. That was the number Stefan Teague wore when he was with Fitchburg State. So first down and 10 for the Falcons in their own 29. A handoff to start this second half. Javon Brown-Simpson bouncing around the line. Tries to find an opening on the left side. Gets decked from below. Gets about 4 yards on that. He's back on his feet. That's the first play for the second half for the Falcons. Second down now for Fitchburg. They line up Brown to the left side, 3 receivers to the right. Brown-Simpson remains in the backfield. This will be a throw to the right side, and wide open is Jesse Lastra. He's able to pick that one up, try to bounce off some defenders, pushing forward. He's gonna have a first down.
Another big catch by Jesse Lastra, and we bring in Alex Bogdasarian. Alex, Jesse has been the leading receiver for Fitchburg State in the first half of this one.
Yeah, that's right, 31 yards total, and Jesse Lastra's definitely been Garrett's go-to guy really throughout the season, and definitely here in the first half.
Lost his helmet on that play, so Lastra won't be on the field for this play. First and 10 for the Falcons from the 42-yard line. They'll move Acosta in motion. He'll wrap around to the left side, but it'll be a handoff to Javon Brown-Simpson. Try to draw something. He's going to get 3 yards as he's pushed back at the end, but forward progress will spot him at the 45-yard line.
And the Falcon running attack really hasn't been able to get anything going. Javon Brown-Simpson, 10 carries, a net of just 30 yards in the first down. Sterling Garvin, a little better, 4 carries for 23, but he had a long of 17. Aside from that one, 3 carries, 6 yards.
Now it'll be second down in 7 from the 45-yard line on the Falcons' half of the field. 2 receivers on either side. Delakiai, quick bullet pass. It's incomplete, just overthrown. They were looking for Jesse Lastra again, but just a bit, I'd say overthrown, also a little low on the vertical.
Now, Alex, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast that the health of Garrett Delakiai would be a big story. What have you seen from him in the first half?
Well, in the first half, I think he was moving just fine. Framingham State was certainly giving him a lot of space. And, you know, he could get throws down the field wherever he wanted, and it was just a matter of guys getting open. So I feel like if Fitchburg State can find spaces down the field and Garrett can find them, they're definitely not out of this game.
On third down, just out of the reach of the receiver, and Devin Samil. The Falcons were 6 of 9 on third down, but now on their first possession, they're going to end up having to punt it downfield.
Yeah, and you take a look right here. Garrett stepping back, and that one just thrown away a little too much for Lastra down the sideline. So, you know, he's been able to throw the ball quite well, and really that one just sailed on him.
Yeah, just out of the reach. I think that was Samil there on the right side. But it's going to be Ludwig who'll be in to punt it away. Falcons haven't had to punt it too much in this contest, but they'll dump it downfield. It's going to take a hop, bounce high in the air, and the Falcons are going to let that one roll for quite a bit. It's going to be rolling inside the 10-yard line, nearly to the 5, so it's going to be an excellent punt for the Falcons, and the Rams will be well pinned in.
Yeah, very, very nice punt there, and that's what you're looking for. You know, you want a punt like this, you want to just pin it as deep as you possibly can. And a great punt. And once Framingham let it bounce, it was really all up to Fitchburg State. It was a matter of how close to the goal line this would get. And that one just keeps rolling and rolling down to the 6-yard line.
You saw Taylor Ekstrom there. Come on, ball. Come closer to me. Come closer to me. Get over here.
This over a decade-old field turf, it's been pinned down. First play of the game, and that's going to be Jalen Green getting his first carry of the contest. So he was just out for the first half, and he gets a few yards on that one. Puts it right on the edge of the soccer penalty area, which doubles as the 9-yard line.
Yellow paint can do double duty like that.
As long as you remember what line it does. Second down for the Falcons. Looks like another handoff. Instead, it's play action. It's going to be a throw right to Stephen Bean. Bean will be down at the 19-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a first down for Framingham State.
And a big hit leveled at the end of that play. It is good enough for a Framingham State first down, however.
It's actually the first positive reception for Stephen Bean in terms of receiving. He'd had a couple really nice runs early in the contest, but now the Rams not so willing to throw him in the backfield. If they've got Jalen Green back, then they don't really need to. On first down, it'll be a run up the middle. Looks like it'll get to about the 25-yard line.
And that's Green, the ball carrier again.
Jalen Green, you see here up the middle, and again, the Framingham State offensive line doing a fantastic job giving them some holes. And Jalen Green, 17 attempts last week against Cortland State for 62 yards. So Framingham State definitely happy to see him in the backfield tonight.
Imagine if he didn't play until this second half. They were holding him out from the first half for a good reason. On this down, they throw to the right side, is complete. Big hit there, staying on his feet is Napoleon Miller. And eventually the rest of the flock of Falcons will come in to take him down.
Malcolm Brown Simpson came in like a wrecking ball, and he laid out Napoleon Miller.
And he does well to hold his leg, prevent him from really making any traction, and then from there, it was just up to the rest of the Falcons to knock him down. It'll be 3rd and 6. Rams are 4 of 7 on 3rd down tonight. Both teams have been very efficient on 3rd down, not letting the pressure get to them. 3 receivers to the left side for Framingham, 1 split out to the right. Been running with 4 receivers all night. It's a pitch to Green. He runs around to the right side of the line, finds a hole, finds a lot of running room. It'll be out of bounds around the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 Framingham. So the Rams keep that high efficiency going on 3rd down.
Yeah, you see the burst of speed up the middle off the pitch, and Green with a fantastic run. He's one of the best runners in this conference in the open field. And you see it right there getting up close to midfield. An easy first down for Framingham State.
That play looked like it was designed to go to the left. Excellent awareness by Green. He saw that there was nothing developing in front of him, so he cut back to the right, took it to the far side, picked up more than 20 yards, and a Ram first down.
In the books is a 23-yard rush. On first down, pass all the way, throw over the middle, it's incomplete and out of the hands of Napoleon Miller.
Ooh, Fitchburg State got away with one there. Miller really should have had that one right up the middle with really nobody around him, and we'll see it right here. The pass is right on point, and yeah, right through the hands. I was wondering, you know, like wide receivers tend to do if they're in open field like that, if he's looking up the field before he sees the ball, and Fitchburg State really gets away with one there.
That was a beautifully delivered ball by Zach Walker. Napoleon Miller had space in front of him to run. That could have been 6 points. Instead, it's incomplete.
This one going to be a run up the middle and not getting anywhere is Jalen Green. It's really his first unsuccessful run of the night. It's going to bring up another 3rd down.
Jalen Green, the senior running back, only 5'8" and 180, so you can tell how shifty he is, and he's definitely seen that, you know, since he's been in the game here in the second half.
Jalen Green now, I believe he's just 1 yard short now of 1,800 in his career. He's a senior from Brockton, just like Trayvon Offley. Went to different high school. He went to Quincy. 3rd and 10. Walker dropping back, throws a bullet over the middle, in and out of the hands of Malcolm Bryan and nearly intercepted by the Falcons.
That was the second pass on this drive where Zach Walker delivered a perfect strike to a wide open receiver, and the Ram receiver just flat dropped it. See here on the replay, this was nearly intercepted by Fitchburg State, but once again, Framingham State had the opportunity. This time it's Malcolm Bryan who just could not bring in that perfectly delivered ball by Zach Walker.
And Walker's looked pretty solid. I mean, we haven't seen too much in terms of a controversy for Framingham. They're in good hands right now. It's just a matter of their receivers aren't able to pull those ones in right now. You know, a lot of the options that Matt Silva had in his previous years, they've graduated along with him, which is why it's been a little more challenging this year for Framingham. As Chris Stagg sends that high in the air, it will be returned by the Falcons, not for very far. Ekstrom again, and he'll be down at the 20-yard line.
And you see Taylor Ekstrom holding his midsection as he runs off the field. We'll keep an eye on him. There's Taylor Ekstrom right there. Can't tell if he's holding his ribs or maybe his left wrist.
Looks like a wrist. We'll definitely watch that as the game goes along.
So we'll keep an eye on Taylor Ekstrom. We'll try to see if we can get Amanda Agassi on it, try to get an update for you just as quick as we can as we head back to live action here with 9:07 to play in the third quarter.
1st and 10 for the Falcons. Looks like it'll be a handoff. It will be a handoff. Javon Brown-Simpson found a hole, immediately closed up, and now 5 Rams coming in to take him down, if that's what it takes. And it'll actually be a gain about 5 yards. Official standing at the 25-yard line to mark that. Just run up the middle, found a bit of a hole, and then after that, the Rams quickly closed it off and sent him flying backwards. Second down for the Falcons. Delakiai on the end around. It's going to be Lastro tries to run around everybody. Is he going to be able to get back to the line of scrimmage? That's going to be a no. A loss of 2 yards on that one.
Yeah, very difficult play for Lastro right from the beginning. He's really fighting for space there on the side, but Framingham State had that play completely read on the sideline. So a long third down here for Fitchburg State.
And now as we get into the third quarter, guys, you see the Falcon offense struggling to come up with some way to move the ball. They can't throw downfield. They can't run it too much because Framingham State knows it's coming, so they have to get creative with play calls like that.
Need to get to the 31 for a first. Third down. Quick throw. Intercepted by the Rams, and they're going to bring it back for a touchdown. Aaron Owens with the pick for the Rams. He brings it back, and it's 13-0.
Yeah, and Aaron Owens lost the ball as he went through the end zone, but I think this is going to count. We'll see it right here. He reads it right in front of the play, and an easy pick six. Dives in, and Garrett put the hit on him. Lost the ball, but he was over the goal line. It will be a good touchdown and a huge swing. Framingham State coming through with the defensive play and doubling their lead now here with the extra point pending. 13-0, a huge score.
Extra point on the way for St. Marie. Looks good, and it is. 7:38 to go, third quarter. And just like that, it's Framingham State leading by a score of 14-0.
And guys, it's all about adjustments. It doesn't matter at any level of football. You could tell Garrett Delakiai in the first half, he could make a lot of throws that he wanted. Not so much here in the third quarter. Framingham State really recognized that at halftime, and they really put a lot of emphasis on defending his passes down the field. And you could see that right there, closing up the passing lane, and just getting the ball intercepted and right into the end zone. An easy play for the defense.
And one thing we saw, especially on that third down play that we didn't see much of from Framingham State in the first half, was pressure.
Yep.
They brought pressure after Garrett Delakiai. They got him running backwards. They got him throwing off the back leg, which is the bad leg. There was nothing on that ball, and it was an easy pick six for Aaron Owens. You saw it developing from a mile away. That's what happens when you've got, I don't want to say a dead duck, but certainly an injured duck in the backfield for the Falcons. And Garrett Delakiai just needs to find a way to get that ball out of there more quickly, ideally in the hands of someone wearing green.
Felt reminiscent of the pick six from Malcolm Brown-Simpson last week, too.
Absolutely.
This is the best kickoff we've seen out of St. Marie tonight. It'll be handled at the 10-yard line by the Falcons. Jaquay Solomon trying to move around, find an opening. He's going to get to the 25-yard line, and that'll be all. Falcons will have to manufacture some points and quickly. Otherwise, the Rams might start to take control of this contest after that last development. Also, we do have an update on the Fitchburg-Wachusett game. It is 35-13 in favor of Wachusett in the fourth quarter, although the Red Raiders are driving. We've actually got that open right in our booth on the education. We've got that on the government stream.
That's right. We've got a dual screen experience going on here, just like you folks can at home. Both Fitchburg games at once.
Falcons trying to push up the middle, and they're not going to get much of anything on that. No gain on the run. Javon Brown-Simpson stuffed at the 25.
Yeah, this is a big drive for this game for the fortunes of Fitchburg State if they want to get anything going. And right here, Framingham just controlling the line right up the middle and stuffed for no gain at the line of scrimmage.
Sven Jacobson, the junior linebacker for Framingham State, has been all over the field on defense. He made another big play there.
That one's going to be incomplete. Or will they rule out a fumble?
I think they're going to say that Samil made that catch and then lost the football. That's going to be Framingham State's ball.
And that's what they're going to rule it. I thought Samil never quite had possession on that one. But they said that was good enough.
Well, we'll take a look at it here.
Fumble.
It's a design pass to the right all along. Samil makes the catch. I think that's a catch and a fumble. He extends, he brings the ball in, and then he loses it as he's turning upfield. That's a catch and a fumble. And all of a sudden, Framingham State can put this game away. They've got 1st and 10 at the Fitchburg 30.
Yeah, he was stumbling, but he did have that ball secured, and then he lost it.
So 2 drives in a row have ended with turnovers, 3 turnovers on the day, and the blocked field goal. The Fitchburg offense just isn't getting it done.
And on 1st down, that's going to be incomplete. They try to find Stephen Bean. He dives for it, but that got nothing but turf.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that was a miscommunication between Wright and Stephen Bean. We'll see.
Well, I think you see on the
Maybe it
replay
just
here,
underthrown.
as Wright is getting rid of the ball, he's hit in the leg. He's not able to get as much arm strength on that. That's really the first consistent penetration that we've seen from the Falcon defense, aside from, I believe, 1 sack early in the 2nd quarter.
That's one thing that also reminds me. The Rams haven't sacked Garrett Delikiai all night. Isn't that a surprising statistic? 2nd down now. Jalen Green trying to juke and change direction. He's going to be inside the 25-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down, but it's a big gain for the Rams to keep this pressure on.
And once again, Alex, you see Jalen Green changing directions with the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Fitchburg State's had a very tough time being able to stop him since he's gone into the game. His 5'8" frame has really given him a lot of trouble. He's very, very athletic.
And now, if you're the Falcon defense, this is almost a critical 3rd down stop. 3rd down and 4, Framingham State needs the 20-yard line for a 1st down. And if they score, this game may be over.
It's going to be awfully taking the run this time. A flag thrown. He gets to about the 20. It'd be close to a 1st. But we have to see what the flag is.
And another flag after the play. You see a couple of Falcons running away as if to say, I didn't do anything. And then a Framingham State player, Napoleon Miller, actually pointing at the official. Getting up in his face for a second there.
It's going to be interesting to see how these penalties develop.
2 play. Holding 69. Dead ball and sportsmanlike number 10. Both.
So both penalties were against Framingham. A hold against Dan Feely and unsportsmanlike conduct against Napoleon Miller. And the Rams are going to be marched back significantly here.
Yeah, very, very undisciplined play there by Napoleon Miller, getting the unsportsmanlike already on top of the holding. So, see, this one's going to be backed up quite a bit.
They're going to assess both penalties, the 10 yards for the holding and then the 15-yard dead ball foul. What would have been 4th and 1 will instead be 3rd down and, is that 32?
I was going to say, what community do you have up your sleeve for this one?
Munson. It's 3rd and Munson.
That's way out there.
How you doing, Garrett?
Officially put on the board as 31. It's just inside Fitchburg territory. Let's see what they do. They're going to do a run. It's going to be awfully. He's not going to get anywhere near 1st. Mamousam wrapping him up at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, just a safe draw play here. Try to pick up as much as you can up front. And with Framingham State's offensive line, they do pick up a little bit, but clearly not enough.
And now with it being 4th down and they're only at the Fitchburg 40, Framingham State will bring in their kicking team and they'll try to pin the Falcons deep in their own territory with the punt here.
As an aside, we don't actually know what St. Marie's field goal range is. This is his 1st year as the starting kicker. He hasn't attempted a field goal yet.
I'm going to say it's not 57 yards.
I would say so as well. Fair catch called for. They'll take it at the 5-yard line. Probably should have let that one go.
Okay, so I asked Danny this in the 1st quarter. I'm going to ask Alex now. Alex, Why do you catch the football on a punt inside your own 10-yard line?
Division III football.
The man's shaking his head. He doesn't know. I don't know. Why do you make the catch there rather than just...
I don't know. I mean, it's something you just have to let that ball roll. I know. I mean, it's got to be instinctive. I mean, you just have to let that ball go.
Yeah. So now Fitchburg State is backed up 1st and 10 at their own 5.
That was Elaine who took the fair catch on first downs, a handoff to the left side. And it'll be a gain of, we'll say, 3 yards, as our linesman is standing again on that yellow line that denotes the soccer penalty area, 3 yards.
Really nothing developing at all for the Falcon running game. We mentioned it as a possibility in the first half, and now here in the second, you see Framingham is stacking the box, bringing pressure, daring Fitchburg to throw it deep.
They tried to bring Lastra in motion. I think Garvin got the handoff there. He didn't get very far. He'll bring up another 3rd down. The Falcons running out of momentum offensively right now.
Yeah, this quarter has really moved along quite a bit, and Framingham State has really taken it up a few notches defensively. This is going to be a grind for Fitchburg State for the rest of this half, you can tell.
It feels like the Falcons have to scratch and claw for every yard. As it is now 3rd down yet again. Delikiai looks to his left, throws. It is caught by Jesse Lastra. And it's going to be good enough for a first, I believe.
They are, in fact, going to stop the clock, move the chains. 3.5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter, and Fitchburg State gets a first down.
Yeah, you'll see it right here. Garrett going to the side and had the first down really on the throw. So a big pickup here for Fitchburg State.
Just good enough. Now Delikiai throwing, trying to find Laster again. Basically double coverage, but he's able to come down with the catch. They're going to mark him at the 25-yard line. It'll be about a yard short of a first. But again, Jesse Laster, he's been all reliable for Fitchburg.
Yeah, he has been. And Garrett really had to throw a bullet into this coverage. It was double covered, but Laster able to come down with it for a gain of 9. And Fitchburg State trying to get something going here in their own territory.
7th catch of the night for Lastra. On first down, a pump fake for Delikiai. Now he scrambles, and he's going to fall down with a loss.
Delikiai pump faked, and it looked like he was trying to run, and I don't know how else to say. His ankle just gave out. He fell down. Nobody touched him, I don't think. Take a look at this again.
Yeah, we'll see it right here. And like you said, John, just in the open field, it looked like he pivoted there and just went down on his side. And yeah, that ankle, it really is bothering him throughout this whole game.
This throw is complete. It is to Samil. Loses a handle on the ball. Looks like the Falcons did get it back.
This time Samil was able to recover his own fumble. It is good enough for a Fitchburg first down. That's good news. What's not good news is that Garrett Delikiai is really not mobile at all right now.
That ankle taking more damage, it seems. It's going to be a handoff this time. Running up the middle, Sterling Garvin trying to secure that ball. Keep it in his arms. He'll gain 2 yards.
Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, but after every handoff, every pass, Garrett Delikiai is doubled over. He's got his hands on his knees. He is in a lot of pain out there right now.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, and you can see it right here in the booth from our vantage point. Every time, like you said, he makes a handoff, he is favoring that ankle.
Looking to pass this time. This throw is caught by the Falcons yet again. This time it's Jesse Brown, but there is a flag on the play.
And it's back in the backfield near the quarterback. See if we can catch what happens on the replay here. Delikiai gets rid of the ball. You see he's under pressure. I think that's going to be a late hit called against Framingham State.
The penalty from the signal, it was against the defense, and they're marching downfield. I think you're right. I think it is a late hit.
Late hit, roughing the passer. Delikiai under pressure, got knocked down after he released the ball. So that'll tack on another 15 yards. And Fitchburg State is moving the ball now. 1st and 10 for them at the Ram 46. And this is a new man taking the snap for Fitchburg. That's Taylor Ekstrom. And a fumble on the handoff.
Now whistles as everyone piles on to try to see who's got it. It's going to be Rams' ball. Falcons tried the Wildcat with Ekstrom.
Yeah, they tried the Wildcat with Ekstrom, as you see it right here, and just complete miscommunication or a bad handoff.
It's a bad handoff, is what it is.
You're trying something completely different in this game, and Fitchburg State cannot execute. Framingham jumps right on it, and a promising drive ends just
Rams
like that
first and 10
for
from their own
Fitchburg
46.
State.
That's a really tough position to put any player in, but especially someone like Taylor Ekstrom. He's been out there as a receiver all day. There was the possibility that this would happen, and I'm sure they practice it, but just in the middle of the game, he's the quarterback, and he's got a hand off. That's really tough.
First down, Jalen Green bouncing off tacklers. He's going to get 9 on the play. It'll be second down as we're now under a minute to go in the third.
Yeah, and this is becoming the Jalen Green show here in the second half. I mean, really, Fitchburg State has no answer for him as he gets into Fitchburg State territory, and Framingham looking to capitalize off of this fumble. And really, Jalen Green, one of the best players for Framingham State, 62 yards on 17 carries last week against a very good team.
They ended up faking the handoff to Green, gave it to Miller instead. And after some juking and moving in the backfield, he gets the first down.
Yeah, you'll see it right here on the end around. And this Framingham State team is really looking to capitalize as this quarter winds down. They have complete control of this game right now, guys, I would say.
Absolutely, Alex. Framingham State up by 2 scores with the ball. They're just going to let the clock run out, finish out the third quarter here, and go into the fourth with a 2-score lead. Now, folks, while we have a minute, we do want to remind you once again, Fitchburg High School is in the fourth quarter. You can switch over to the government channel, Comcast Channel 99, Verizon Channel 37, or on fatv.org. Just find the government feed. You'll be able to catch the last few minutes of the Fitchburg High and Wachusett game. Or if you stay here on the educational channel, you'll be able to see the fourth quarter of Framingham State and Fitchburg State University. While we have a moment, folks, we also want to thank the incredible crew who helps all of the truck events, especially tonight. Our incredible director is John Dextrace, Travis Falk, the technical supervisor, Eric Baird running audio for us, Scott May, Ty Dorsey, and Matt Carroll on camera for us. Matt is actually celebrating his 24th birthday today. Happy birthday, Matt. And we also have myself, John Gugerty, Alex Bogdasarian, and Danny Bolak. And our incredible sideline reporter is Amanda Agassi. Now, guys, as we go into the fourth quarter of action here, Framingham State with the football, I would imagine we're going to see a lot of the ground game from the Rams going forward.
Oh, no question. I mean, why not at this point? It's really been Jalen Green controlling this entire second half ever since he returned to the Rams lineup. And, guys, they're just going to keep going with him until Fitchburg State has an answer, and right now they don't. And if Framingham can just control this clock on this possession, take off a lot of time, run the football, they have complete control of this game right now. And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of Jalen Green here in the fourth quarter.
Green is the running back on first down. He'll take the pitch to the left side, cuts it back to the right, tries to break out of a tackle. He was unable to do so, call it a loss of a couple of yards. It'll be second down and 12. Now, Danny, from the Fitchburg State perspective,
with the
you're
initial
down 2
hit for the
scores.
Falcons.
Framingham has the ball.
Loss
Your
of 2 on the
quarterback's
play.
ankle is a big question mark. You've turned the ball over 4 times. What positives are there for the Falcons, and how can they come back into this game?
At the very least, they've seen some positive plays out of Devin Samil and Jesse Laster. Their targets, when they've been able to make plays, have made plays. We saw Samil make that long run downfield, breaking tackles, keeping the Falcons in it late in the first half. Just a matter of can Delikiai or whoever's taking the snaps for Fitchburg, can they get it downfield?
Play action fake on second down, pass to the left side is complete. Reception made there by Malcolm Bryant, the freshman wideout from Apopka, Florida. It's a gain of maybe 6 or 7 yards for him. It'll bring up a manageable third down. Call it third down and 6.
About
Yeah,
6
nice
on the
job by
play.
Framingham State going right back to Bryant after that drop pass earlier in the game. And right here, a nice reception off of the screen pass, able to pick up 4 yards. And Dan, I'm sure you can give us the stats on Jalen Green here in the second half. I mean, he has really taken over this game.
7 carries for 43 yards. Trayvon Offley has been even better, 5 for 59.
3rd down and 6. Walker will roll to his right. He's under pressure, making signals. He's going to keep it himself, and he'll just duck out of bounds across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of a couple. It'll bring up 4th down and about
3 on the
4.
play.
No, mark it back. Call it more like 4th down and 5 now. And an interesting decision for Framingham State. It looks like they're going to punt here.
Yeah, they're bringing on the punting team. Going to try to pin Fitchburg State back. And
Punting unit on for the Rams. Jake Elaine set deep for the Falcons.
They really dominated the second half. It's a 14-point game, only a 2-score game, but it feels like a lot more than that, I would say.
It feels like a lot more because Fitchburg's offense has just been, quite frankly, inept. Punt is away on 4th down. Falcons do let it bounce this time inside the 5. Was that ball batted out of the end zone? Nope, they will signal a touchback. Framingham State almost with an incredible special teams play.
Touchback
but
on the
instead
punt.
Fitchburg State will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
And Jake Elaine just got out of the way of that one, knowing that time, on the previous play, on his last try, he caught it at the 5-yard line. Not exactly the best play for Fitchburg, but another pin deep for the Framingham punter, Chris Dagg. Now the Falcons, a little bit of breathing room this time, starting from the 20.
And as the Falcon offense comes back onto the field, you see Garrett Delakiai is on the field as the quarterback for
From their own
Fitchburg
20.
State. They'll go with 3 wide receivers. Handoff on 1st down goes to Malcolm Brown-Simpson, and that's roughly the 15th time that's happened today, and I think Framingham State saw it coming.
Yeah, they sure did, and that was number 56 for Framingham State. Gene Jolene, the freshman, getting in there. 300 pounds, so of course he's going to get in there and make a 2-yard loss.
2nd down and 12 now for Fitchburg State. They go 4 wide receivers. Brown-Simpson remains in the backfield. Delakiai under pressure, and he is sacked. Brought down, and there's that man again, Gene Jolene, 2nd time in a row.
2nd time in a row, and Garrett is really laboring out there.
Gene Jolene.
Guys, I have
Had
to
the sack
wonder how
for the
much longer
Rams.
this is going to last. I mean, Fitchburg State, it's only a 2-score game. I mean, how much longer can they go with him?
I am openly wondering, where is James Antonelli at this point?
I think you have to be at this point.
3rd down and 18 for the Falcons. Delakiai back to pass. He will throw long over the middle. Pass is high and incomplete. Well over the head of his intended receiver. He was trying to reach Herbert Acosta. The Falcon offense goes 3 and out.
He went down as he was throwing it too, and that, let's see.
He's got nothing on that throw, guys. I mean, I'm watching it right there. He's very stiff in the back.
It's all arm.
And it is all arm, and
Yeah.
that one just a clear overthrow. You have to wonder what Pat Haverty is thinking at this point. Should he go to the backup? I mean, Garrett, it looks like, I hate to say it, but it looks like he's almost costing Fitchburg State this game
At
more
this
than
point,
he's
yeah.
helping them at this point.
In the first half, you could stand by the decision to play Delakiai. He was hobbled. He wasn't 100% effective, but he was somewhat effective. Here in the 3rd quarter and into the 4th, you've really seen nothing out of him. As the game has gone on, the health of the ankle has deteriorated. The quality of play has deteriorated. I think Fitchburg State needs to make a change.
Yeah, and as I said, Framingham State was really filling him out in the first half, letting him throw the ball. Now in the second half, they've made that adjustment at halftime. They're not giving him anything, and they're really exposing his injury. It's going to be interesting to see what Fitchburg State does going forward.
Ludwig's punt is away, high spiraling kick taken in and then brought down immediately is the Ram return man. A big hit by Usman Sam. No return at all. Take a look at this one again, Danny.
Yeah, no fair catch, so perfectly legal to make that hit. I mean, if you're not fair catching the ball, it's fair game. If you are making the fair catch, it's a half, I believe it's a 5-yard halo that you have to watch out for. You have to let him catch the ball, but really, because he didn't make the signal, it's all up to him to see what he can do.
Framingham State set up 1st and 10 at the Falcon 49. Handoff goes to Jalen Green up along the left side. He's going to move the chains, I believe, a gain of 10 yards.
There was a flag on the play.
There is a flag in the backfield, as you said, Danny.
Yeah, that's going to be holding. The umpire saw that one. This one's going to come back.
Offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
8 penalties for 80 yards for Framingham. Fitchburg has actually been really clean, 3 for 21 tonight on the penalties.
Yeah, and we'll see where the hold is. Oh, it's right there. The takedown right at the line of scrimmage. And
that's
easy call.
Clear.
Easy call for the umpire.
Pretty clear.
Back him up for the maximum 10 yards.
So instead of a first down run, it'll be first down and 20 now for Framingham State. They're at their own 41. They need to get to Fitchburg's 39 to convert and get a new set of downs.
Question will
Stephen
be if
Bean
they're
sets up in the backfield. I'm sorry, Danny.
Question to see if they'll be willing to throw a little more now that they need 20 to go.
Handoff goes to Bean. Why throw when you can run for 15, 16 yards? Stephen Bean is back into Falcon territory. That's a gain of about 16.
There's another flag.
Second down and 4, although there is a flag.
Holding, 74 offense, 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Yeah, you see the replay here, but this one clearly coming back on the hold. So that nice run is negated, and it will be another 10-yard loss.
On consecutive plays now, big runs for Framingham State have been brought back by holds.
And that's really been the only thing that's been able to hold Framingham State back. It's been penalties, especially holding calls on nice runs. And really, you would wonder how this game would go if Framingham State was a little more disciplined in that area.
I think Fitchburg State is a bit fortunate to only be down 2 scores at this stage of the action.
Absolutely.
Now handoff goes to the left side. Jalen Green gets nothing. And for once, there will not be a flag. It'll bring up second down and about 28, 29, I think, Alex?
Looks like about 29, and Fitchburg State finally stopping Jalen Green for minimum gain. And Framingham State really in no rush at this point as we get down towards 10 minutes to go here in the game.
You have to imagine they're going to keep the ball on the ground, try to milk as much clock as they can. Play clock down to 5 now. But they can just take their time the snap at 1.
Handoff goes to Green. He gets across the 35, back across the line of scrimmage. Only a gain of a few. Framingham State is more than happy to just hand the ball off, run the clock, and kick it back to Fitchburg, at least until Fitchburg shows any indication of stopping them. That's a pretty shot. That's a pretty shot right there, Alex.
That is a nice shot, and the moon has been humongous over the last few days.
We mentioned the unique atmosphere of a Friday night game in Fitchburg here at Elliott Field. I really do like doing these night games, guys.
Could they shut off the lights on a night like tonight? Could they shut off the lights on a night like tonight?
Why?
Is the moon enough?
Maybe that moon, not most moons. Third down and 23. The pitch goes to Jalen Green. He loses the football, and it is fallen on by Framingham State. That's Dan Feely with a nice play, saving the possession for Framingham State.
Yeah, Dan Feely really in the right place at the right time. And you can see that one.
Looks like it was
and he
Renzo.
Just came into the shot. He was on the line of scrimmage, and he saw the ball go down, able to save the possession for Framingham.
I think it was
and
Renzo
they will punt it away.
Papatera who was out there who ended up getting that strip there, but Feely able to recover.
Punt is away on 4th down. Jake Lane lets it bounce at the 25, tries to pick it up at the 30. He finally falls on it. Not Jake Lane's best night on special teams. He falls down at the 26-yard line where Fitchburg State will take over 1st and 10.
At least try to stop the bounce. Didn't want to let that ball go about another 10 yards. And the Fitchburg High football game has gone final, so hello to anyone who'd been tuning in on that one.
So we are down to the usual one football game on Friday night here on FATV. Again, we're very happy to be able to bring you this one-of-a-kind simulcast. The Fitchburg High game has completed. For those of you just joining us, we are at 8:28 to play here in the fourth quarter. Fitchburg State trailing by 14. On 1st and 10, Garrett Delkiai's pass to the right side is incomplete. Pass is low, intended for Jake Elaine. Not much Elaine could do about that one.
Yeah, and guys, you have to wonder how much say Garrett Delkiai has
as far as convincing the coaches to keep him in this game, because that's an ugly throw right there, and you can tell he really has nothing back there. That's all I can say.
2nd down and 10 for the Falcons. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Delakiai looks to his left. He throws to his left. That pass is caught. Jesse Laster at the 45. Mark him down at the 49-yard line. That's a gain of about 20, and it'll be good for a Fitchburg first down.
That's the 8th catch of the game for Jesse Lastra. Finds an opening on that left side. Delakiai is able to. They've had to force it in a little bit, but the Falcons will take it nonetheless.
Falcons going with the hurry up. 8 minutes to play here, needing 2 scores to tie. Delakiai will look to his right. He throws to his right. Pass is brought in by Jesse Lastra. Got to do it himself. He's across the line of scrimmage. He'll get into Ram territory. Not much more than that. It's a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Conservative play call right there by Pat Haverty, trying to get something going down the sideline. And Lastra has been good in this game, but Framingham State able to read that out for only a 2-yard gain as the clock continues to tick down here in the 4th quarter.
Sterling Garvin is the man in the backfield for Fitchburg State. They go 2 receivers on each side, 2nd down and 8. They need the 41 for a first. Delakiai looking to his left, throwing long to his left. Jump ball incomplete. That pass looked like it was intended for 23 Quentin Perkins. Would have been, I believe, his first reception as a Falcon. Is that correct, Danny?
Would have been his first reception in this contest. I think he's had a couple receptions in an earlier contest, but nonetheless a long throw on the left side. Double coverage, though, on the long man in Perkins.
Not much Perkins could do about that. Pass was high and overthrown. 3rd down and 8 now. Delakiai looking to his right. Pumps, throws over the middle. Leads his receiver and making the catch. That is a heck of a grab there by Jake Elaine. We'll take a look at this one again now.
Yeah, great athletic catch here by Jake Elaine up the middle. A huge play for Fitchburg State. Look at that. And Framingham State almost missed the play as well.
Jake Elaine dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, a heck of a throw there by Garrett.
Now on 1st down, Delakiai pumps and ultimately throws to the right, complete to Sterling Garvin. He's across the 30, dragged down out of bounds after a gain of about 7. So Fitchburg State's offense is moving the ball, Danny.
They've been moving the ball, and surprisingly to how this game has gone, Fitchburg's offense has actually been a bit better than Framingham's. Now closing in on 300 yards, the Rams only 220 yards of offense, but half their offense coming on a pick 6.
2nd down and 4 now for the Falcons. Delakiai looking to his right. He dumps it off to his right. Incomplete, just out of the reach of Sterling Garvin. Almost a mirror image of that last play, although not with the same result.
Yeah, and you mentioned that pick 6. How big does that play look right now? At this point, 6:44
2-score
remaining.
game, and one of them you gave the other team. That's a pretty big play.
Dan, I know you do a lot of soccer games. This is like scoring 2 goals. And that difference between 2 goals and 1 goal is monumental.
Especially when that second goal is an own goal.
Big 3rd down here, 3rd down and 4 for Fitchburg State. Delakiai looks to his left this time. He's under pressure. He dumps it off to the left. Diving attempt, but incomplete. Samil wants a flag. He's not going to get one, and he's not very happy about it. Good defense there by Framingham State. We'll take a look at this one again.
Yeah, that's Jaleel Wingard there on the coverage. We'll see it right here.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty.
There is a
Big 3rd
penalty,
down.
but it goes against Fitchburg State.
And Framingham State chooses to accept the penalty. So rather than give Fitchburg 4th and 4, they'll set them up 3rd down and 14 and give them 2 chances to get the first down.
They were absolutely in 4-down territory. They had
absolutely.
to accept the penalty there.
There was no doubt at all that Fitchburg State was going to go for it.
Yeah, at this point, you take the field position, especially the way Framingham State's been able to be in control in this game on defense.
3rd and 14 for Fitchburg. They need the 25 for a first down. Delakiai back to pass, looks over the middle. He is rushed, and he is going to go down. Brought down at the 45-yard line. 2nd sack of the game for Framingham State. It'll be 4th down and about 16, 17, I think. And the Falcon quarterback is limping.
Yeah, this is becoming difficult to watch for Fitchburg State fans and their team, and really Framingham State in complete control there on the defensive line at the line of scrimmage, able to get in on Garrett. It was really everybody in on him,
and Garrett took a huge shot right there.
4th and 20, and Fitchburg needs this if they want to have a chance of winning this game. And Delakiai goes down again. He is sacked for the 2nd time in a row, this time by Campbell Marchant. Framingham State slams the door on this one.
On those last 2 plays, it also feels like the lack of mobility that Delakiai has had wasn't going to make much of a difference. Both times, Framingham able to storm the line, get past everyone, and get the sacks.
No, with that pass rush, a 100% healthy Garrett Delakiai is going down.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing you can do about that. But I think, it's going to be interesting to see how this Fitchburg State student base and fan base and team thinks about how Garrett's done in this game. I understand it's a big game, but I think he's done more harm than good for Fitchburg State, considering his health in this game.
Handoff up alongside goes to Jalen Green. He loses a yard. And Alex, I really don't think you can blame. I certainly don't think you can blame Garrett Delakiai for going out there and trying. He put in his best effort, and for the first half of this game, he was a good, solid quarterback. I truly believe, at least for the first half, he was the best option Fitchburg State had.
He was, but I mean, Framingham State was giving him throws down the middle. I think here in the second half, you've seen the real Framingham's defense show up, and Garrett's really hindered this Fitchburg State offense with his lack of mobility.
2nd down and 11. Green is breaking tackles left and right. He's able to turn nothing into something. It's a gain of about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 5 as Framingham looks to put this one away.
Yeah, and Dan, you can keep going with the stats in this game, but Jalen Green is red hot here in the second half. And you can see him right here, bouncing off a tackle at the line of scrimmage, picking up, I believe it was 5 yards or 4 yards down the play, but he just keeps his legs churning, and at his height, at his athleticism, very, very difficult to bring down.
3rd down and 7 for the Rams as they look to wrap this one up. Just under 4.5 minutes to go. Handoff goes to Jalen Green. He's across the 40. I think they're going to mark him shy of the line, so it'll bring up 4th down and 1. We'll take a look at this one again.
Yeah, I think he's going to be about 2 inches short. We'll take a look at it again. Falling forward, but again, I think they're going to mark him about a yard short. But another run by Green, and you can tell just with his legs churning how difficult he is to bring down. And it's really been his story in the second half. He has allowed Framingham State to really control this game at the line of scrimmage with the clock. A 14-point lead seems like a 28-point lead right now.
Now 4th and 1. Framingham goes for it. Try to draw Fitchburg off sides. They don't. Framingham State calls their first timeout of the second half with 3:41 to play. I would think if you're Tom Kelly, the head coach of Framingham State, you go for it here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've been able to control the game at the line of scrimmage, and I feel like they actually, Fitchburg State caught a break there. It looks like they almost jumped the neutral zone again, but Framingham State called a timeout. So Fitchburg State has an opportunity here on 4th and 1 to make a big stop. 3:41 to go. I mean, certainly not, you're getting into crunch time here. Not a whole lot of time left, but enough time maybe to get a deep ball bit down the field. It's going to be interesting here. A big, big call coming up on both sides.
We've seen some incredible plays in this contest. You never really know what's going to happen. You can see on your screen Garrett Delakiai being trained to by the head athletic trainer at Fitchburg State, Todd Soulier.
I think whether or not Framingham State gets this first down, Garrett Delakiai's night is done. 4th and 1 for Framingham State. Fitchburg's defense needs this stop if they want to have a prayer. Handoff straight up the middle. That's Stephen Bean, the ball carrier. I think he is short.
I think he's short as well. Going by the head linesman's original spot, he didn't have him getting to the stick.
They're going to bring in the chains. I think he's short.
And the offense for Framingham State walking back, but really from our vantage point, it looks like he was a little short.
They needed to get pretty much exactly to the 39-yard line, and the ball is spotted short of that. I'm going to say short. Danny?
I think it's short. It's absolutely short.
They are well short. So they turn the ball over on downs. Fitchburg State will take it. 3:37 to play. As I hinted, James Antonelli is the quarterback leading the Falcon offense onto the field as they try to make a miraculous comeback here with 3:37 to play.
Well, 3:37 to go, a new quarterback. We'll see what Fitchburg State can do here.
One of the important things to see is, can Antonelli throw the long ball, one of those game-changing passes?
4 wide receivers for Fitchburg State. It's Javon Brown-Simpson in the backfield. Antonelli will pass on 1st and 10, rolls to his right, dumps it out. Pass is incomplete, intended for Jake Elaine up along the far sideline.
Yeah, and you know Framingham State knows that Fitchburg State has a new quarterback, so getting the pressure on him and Antonelli rolling out to the outside, just nothing on that throw. And an easy incompletion. Stops the clock, but it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Credit one of those linemen there for Fitchburg, preventing a possible sack and doing so without committing a holding penalty, just by grabbing the front of the arms.
2nd down and 10. Antonelli is under a ton of pressure, and he is brought down. Fitchburg State just has no answer for the pass rush of Framingham right now. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is if you can't keep him on his feet.
Well, it really doesn't, and it doesn't matter who the quarterback is if you can't control the line of scrimmage. And Framingham State, that's been the story here in the 2nd half. Getting pressure on the quarterback, and you see it right there. Once again, Antonelli getting sacked, and now a long 3rd down for Fitchburg State. Probably still in 4th down territory. It has to be.
3rd and 17 for the Falcons. 2 receivers on either side. Javon Brown-Simpson in the backfield. Antonelli under pressure again. Antonelli goes down again. 2 sacks in a row for Framingham State. It'll be 4th down. Timeout Falcons with 2:45 to go, Dan.
Yeah, and I would guess, you know, Antonelli really, he didn't have a lot of time, but you have to try to get rid of that football. You cannot take another sack. I don't think he had enough time, though, guys. I think
there's no time.
Framingham State is just completely dominating the line of scrimmage, and that's been the story in this game.
That's one of the things that we've been praising for Framingham all game long, is just the fact that their O-line, their D-line has been absolutely rock solid tonight for Framingham State. They've done what they've needed to do, especially on those last couple of drives. We saw 3 sacks. I think Antonelli got back to the line of scrimmage, but 2:45 left in the contest. It's 4th and a lot. I think you got to go for it.
It's the only chance you've got. The Falcons are going to send their offense back onto the field. 4th down and 18. They need to get up to their own 49 to have a chance of this one. There's a chance, I guess.
There's definitely a chance.
4 wide for the Falcons, 2 on either side. Javon Brown-Simpson in the backfield. Antonelli under pressure. Antonelli tries to get away. There's just nothing he can do. Framingham State brings a little bit of pressure. The Falcon offensive line can't keep their man upright. Antonelli goes down for the 3rd time in a row, and Framingham State takes over on downs.
Yeah, just 3 straight breakdowns on the offensive line, and with a new quarterback in there, there's going to be absolutely no shot.
You could put whatever Hall of Fame quarterback you want in the backfield. Dan Marino, Brett Favre, they're going down with that line too.
Yeah, no. There's no quarterback can stand under that much pressure. It doesn't matter if Delakiai's healthy, if it's Antonelli, or like you said, if it's Dan Marino himself. No offensive line, no offense.
I can tell both of you guys went to Fitchburg State if you're still saying there's a chance.
I am not presently saying there's a chance. Handoff goes up the middle to number 2, Karan Wright, the ball carrier for Framingham State. 2.5 minutes to go in this one. And I think it behooves us all, especially as Fitchburg State fans, to take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Falcons as we wind down the couple last minutes of this one. Next week, Fitchburg State will be on the road, another Friday night game against Bridgewater State. And then we're back here Saturday, October the 1st, a 12 o'clock kickoff against Mass Maritime is the next Falcon football broadcast right here on FATV. Meanwhile, next week for Fitchburg High School, they are on the road as well. And then on Friday, September the 30th, Groton Dunstable will be at Crocker Field. So Friday the 30th and then September the 1st, 2 games in 2 days. Fitchburg High at 7 o'clock on the 30th. And then again, Fitchburg State University for a 12 noon kickoff 2 weeks from tomorrow, Saturday, October the 1st, against Mass Maritime.
Guess I can talk a little bit about those teams as well. On But as for Bridgewater, they're off to a shocking 0-2 start, lost to Curry in week 1, and then Keene by a point just last week. They're looking to get their first win against Worcester tomorrow at 1 o'clock. As for Mass Maritime, they're off to a 1-0 start. They beat SUNY Maritime in a thriller 28-24, and they're playing Maine Maritime tomorrow for the 44th Annual Admirals Cup. That's a 1 o'clock start as well. So Mass Maritime could be 1-0, 2-0 coming in, or even 3-0, however many games they're going to have. Well, 2 games, I should say. So also in action tomorrow in the MASCAC, Plymouth's got WestCon, and Westfield has UMass Dartmouth.
While we have a moment here, Alex, why don't we thank once again the incredible FATV crew who made this broadcast possible?
Yeah, thanks to our director, John Dextrous, in the truck, Travis Falk as well, Eric Baird on audio, Scott May and Matt Carroll up on the lift doing camera, and Ty Dorsey down on the field doing field cam, and Amanda Agassi.
We also want to thank Kevin Ward helping out with the audio. He's another FATV intern from Fitchburg State University. And there's Ty Dorsey and Amanda Agassi right down there on the sideline. We'll hear from Amanda once again before the night is out, I'm sure.
And then there's us.
And then there's us. We don't matter. I'm John. He's Alex. He's Dan. You know us. We won't shut up. 3rd down and 7 for the Rams. High lofting pass to the corner of the end zone is swatted away and incomplete. Well defended there by the Fitchburg State defender. That was Greg Donahue. First time we've called his name tonight. Take a look at this one again.
Yeah, Framingham State looking for the knockout blow right here, really. That's the only reason why they're passing the ball. And that one floated in actually pretty well, but unable to come up with it. And see what they do here. Are they going for it?
They are indeed. Kind of in that maroon zone for a college offense. There's not many D3 kickers you can reliably trust to make a 36-yard field goal. So 4th and 6, they will go for it. Walker back to pass. He's under a ton of pressure, and he is actually brought down. So the Falcon defense with a good pass rush knocks Walker down.
There's one great positive to take out of this contest. The Falcons' defense has been excellent tonight on the whole. The defense holding Framingham to 7 points.
Yeah, and you have to wonder, if Framingham State got a little closer there, if they actually would attempt a field goal. It's still a 2-possession game here with 1:21 to go. You never know at this level. I mean, you could, Fitchburg State could get a big play up the middle, get some offense, so you have to wonder Framingham State's play calling there.
So the Falcons take over on downs. James Antonelli still the quarterback. He rolls to his left, throws, passes complete at the near sideline. Staying in bounds after he makes the reception is Jesse Brown.
They gave Antonelli room to run that time instead of just swarming and blitzing him like they had been on that last possession. That time with the time to throw, he throws to the left side. He finds Jesse Brown. Had a moment to get out of bounds, ends up going upfield for a couple extra yards instead.
Now on 2nd down, Antonelli rolls to the right and throws incomplete over the head of Jake Lane. It'll be 3rd down and 5 with now 50 seconds left to go.
Yeah, and this goes back to the previous play, I believe. I mean, you have to get out of bounds there. This is taking down a lot of time. We're under a minute to go now, 50 seconds.
Falcons only have 1 timeout left as well.
50 seconds, 1 timeout. You need 65 yards here, then get the ball back, then score again. It is theoretically possible, and that's about it. 3rd down and 5 for Fitchburg. 4 wide receivers, 2 on either side. Pass is complete. He breaks a tackle and across midfield. Stop the clock while they move the chains. Jesse Brown has a 1st down, and the Falcon offense needs to hurry up.
Yeah, the clock will stop on the 1st down, and they're going no huddle here, so going to try to get as much as they can and kill the play.
First snap under center all game for the Falcons. It may be the only play in the playbook where they line up under center. Antonelli just with the spike. So we'll take a look at the last play again.
Yeah, here it is, and the pass to the side. And again, I have to wonder if he wanted to get out of bounds there, but he decides to take it up past midfield, gets the 1st down, and the clock stops anyway.
Yeah, 1st down stops the clock, so why not get as much yardage as you can? Now on second down, Antonelli throws long to the left, pass is high, but it's caught. Devin Samil with the reception. He's at the Framingham State 14-yard line. Stop the clock, move the chains. 33 seconds to go. Fitchburg State's going to get up and spike it again. And now Danny will take a look at this one.
Clock takes 3 seconds down to 30 seconds. Second great catch we've seen from Devin Samil tonight. Using all of his body, a one-handed catch, pulls it in brilliantly. A little overthrown, but Samil is able to make up for it. And just like that, he's given the Falcons another chance.
Yeah, and guys, that's like how Fitchburg State was last week. Tall wide receivers getting into the open field, making catches down the field. Let's see if they can capitalize.
1st and 10 for the Falcons. Antonelli looks to his left, pass is incomplete and very nearly a pick six. Aaron Owens almost had his 2nd touchdown of the game. He jumped the route beautifully. We'll take a look at this one again. Dan, this was almost 6 points.
Almost. I mean, he reaches up there, wasn't able to pull it in. I mean, already that pick six that he had back in the 2nd quarter is almost certainly going to be the difference in this contest, but he nearly salted it away right there.
2nd down now for the Falcons. They can get a 1st down without scoring. Antonelli pumps, throws for the end zone. Jump ball, tipped and falls incomplete. Almost brought in. That would have been an incredible touchdown catch. We'll take a look at it again.
Well, this would have been a tough play, but into double coverage. And you know what? I think he would have fallen out of bounds anyway. I don't think it would have counted.
It's worth pointing out because they clocked the ball on the 1st down. They only had 3 shots at a 1st.
So now this is 4th down and 10 for Fitchburg State. Antonelli looks to his left. He throws for the end zone. Incomplete. Behind his receiver, some miscommunication there perhaps. And the last desperate gasp for Fitchburg falls to the turf harmlessly. Framingham State is going to take this one by a score of 14-0.
And wide open there on the left side was Cody Mullen. The pass was just offline. If he makes that catch, that's 6 on the board. It comes that close, but really the Falcon defense, they came to play. They played very well. That opening drive for Framingham ends up being the original difference maker, and then the pick six from Aaron Owens in the second. Let's see, earlier in this second half, that ended up being insurance.
So Framingham State will take a knee and salt this one away. They come to Elliott Field and they win 14-0, continuing their very impressive conference winning streak. And we saw today, Dan, why Framingham State is the best team in this conference.
They played pretty well, all's told. They held the Falcons' offense at bay. Garrett Delikiai a bit hobbled. He tried to give it his best, but in the end, he just wasn't able to get consistent plays downfield. The Falcons didn't have the big play. They had a couple big ones from Devin Samil, but all's told they could not consistently make those plays downfield. Delikiai finished 21 of 39 for 215 yards, but 2 interceptions. The second one, probably the biggest one, the 30-yard pick six in the 3rd quarter.
So we thank you folks very much for watching this very unique opportunity. The first time we've ever been doing a double cast, a simulcast, if you will. Fitchburg State University here at Elliott Field, falling to Framingham State by a score of 14-0. Unfortunately, Fitchburg High School as well, falling to Wachusett High. So both teams lost, but we were able to bring you both games, so that's a positive. We again want to thank the incredible Fitchburg Access Television broadcast crew. John Dextre is our director, Travis Falk, the technical supervisor. Eric Baird did the audio for us, Scott May, Matt Carroll, the birthday boy, and Ty Dorsey doing camera for us. Alex Bogdasarian, Danny Bolek, myself on the commentary team. We do want to thank Amanda Agassi for her excellent sideline reporting. We're not going to be able to hear from her again tonight, but we'll see her again for our next broadcast, which is in 2 weeks from tomorrow. So it'll be Saturday, October the 1st, a 12 o'clock kickoff. So our coverage will start at 11:50 or so for Mass Maritime. And once again, we want to thank, before we get out of here, the underwriters who make this game possible for us here on FATV. Danny, why don't you do that, because I've been talking for too long.
All right, our underwriting partners for tonight Workers Credit Union, Mart, Fitchburg State University, Minuteman Press, Acme Carpet One, Rollstone Bank, Unitil, Sentinel Enterprise, Vector 5, and Hub International.
Thank you very much, Danny. We want to thank you folks at home for watching. We want to thank the underwriters, the crew, everybody who makes this telecast possible. For Alex Bogdasarian and Danny Bolak, I'm John Gugerty. We'll see you October the 1st right here on FATV.